Alrighty folks, hello there, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. So, we're going to fire off some Premier Draft Theros Beyond Death. Have never done Premier Draft Theros Beyond Death, only have done the quick drafts. But yeah, this is going to be the first time on Magic the Gathering Arena that this is allowed, since I believe the Premier Drafts, where you drafted with other people, real life people, happened around the Ikoria expansion time, and this was before Ikoria. So it's nice of the developers or whoever's in charge to provide us this content that was like a year or two back ago. But yeah, this is a pretty fun set. You do have to keep in mind that there are a couple of bomby cards in this format that are kind of like instant win the game and almost unbeatable, most notably Cure, Best to See God, and Dream Trawler. But other than that, it's a pretty fun format, not necessarily the most balanced, and we'll talk about that during the draft. But yeah, anyways, let's get started here. It's nice for them to bring back this classic format. And I thought, they wouldn't bring back any formats like this other than Dominaria, or maybe Neon Dynasty, since those are pretty well reputable formats. But yeah, Theros Beyond Death was definitely a surprise, and yeah, I'm happy that they brought it back. Hopefully they bring back maybe like the old core set 2020, because I do kind of miss that set, and I think it was definitely one of the best core sets I've ever played. Definitely better than, I think, even definitely better than 2021 and Adventures in the Forgotten Realms in 2019. But yeah, let's begin. Let's fire off this. And what do we open? Our rare, pretty decent rare. Aphia, the Cacophony is pretty decent if you manage to end up putting enchantment cards in your graveyard. And there's a couple of enchantments in this format, like Mara's Grasp most notably, and even some of the sagas. So Epheme's pretty decent, 2-mana, 2/1 flyer that can, an evasive threat that can generate some value. So pretty decent. There's also Reverend Hoplite, which I think is excellent. White is, I think, the second best color in this format behind black, and this is a good payoff if you're heavily focusing on the white devotion plan. Melamai's Prophecy is okay. Nyx's Herald is also okay, and then at common, not too many impressive commons. I do like Voracious Typhon if we end up in a green escape deck, or even like a green-red Power 4 Matters deck. But I think I'm looking at the rares in the uncommon, and I don't mind starting with Ephemia, the Cacophony. Black is the best color in this format, and you should lean towards it as much as possible. And yeah, there's some good enchantments I don't mind putting in the yard, so let's try to get Ephemia. And after first picking Ephemia, as you can see, black is a pretty deep color in this format, as we see a pretty powerful removal spell at common with Final Death, which I'm going to take. Allure the Unknown, never played it before. It doesn't seem unplayable, but the fact that the opponent can cast a spell from one of the top 6 choices is so the opponent exiles an island card and then you put the rest. Yeah, the fact that they can choose a card is a little bit problematic, and it's not really what you want to do on turn 5. You want to develop the board and gain a bit of tempo advantage in a black-red deck on turn 5, so I don't think we take it. Laguna is alright if you are focusing on enchantments. You can deny yourself a draw step by putting a good enchantment card on top of your library, gaining some life. So this card's pretty solid. I think it's pretty good too. But I'm just going to take Final Death following up Ephemia. And again, you want to lean towards black, given that it's the deepest color in this format. Almost all the black commons are playable, with an exception of a few, maybe like one black card, the one that drains life, which isn't really a card you want unlimited, but everything else is kind of solid here. We're not going to take a black card here, since Nyx's Marauder is pretty mediocre. Could just take a Companion Presence. I think this card's pretty solid if you put it on an Invasive Flyer. There's also Ichthyomorphosis. I'm not a big fan of Caliphate. You don't really want power in a blue deck. You're not really trying to be aggressive, and the double blue is not easy to cast. Some okay white cards too: Flicker of Faith, Karametra's Blessing, Relentless Pursuit. If you end up setting up a black-green escape deck, can be a nice way to put cards in the graveyard, but I'm down to just take a Commanding Presence. If we end up in a... White does seem kind of open from my right hand side being passed like a Laguna Band Storyteller, now commanding presence, so I'll take it here. And white-black is a decent archetype, I think, in this set. Take it over Ichthyomorphosis, which is an okay removal spell, but there's some enchantment hate in this format, which doesn't make it necessarily amazing. Alright, seeing some okay blue cards here. Thirst for Meaning is pretty good. One with the Stars is kind of like a removal spell, but it doesn't really stop. It's not all that effective, since if the creature has an activated ability, it can be quite relevant at times. Could also just take Warbriar's Blessing here. Pious Wayfarer is okay if we want to commit to black-white, which I don't necessarily think I want to yet. So, could just take Warbriar's Blessing, just a good removal spell. So there's an argument between like which is the worst color in this set, blue or green, and I have to say I'm more of a fan of green, but for sure the Mardu colors are the best. You want to go, I think, accordingly. Black, white, red are kind of like the top three colors, and then blue and green are kind of tied, but I think I prefer being green than blue, so I'll just take the removal spell being Warbriars. Okay, very interesting choice. I don't want to pivot off of black by taking Siona. Siona's pretty good. Could just take Slaughter Priest and Mogus. It's a nice 2-drop. Maybe this is a sign that the black-red sacrifice deck is open for my right-hand side. Omen of the Forge could keep me a little bit more open, but I still think this is just a better card, and could be a sign if I end up in black-red, I don't want to miss out on a good sacrifice outlet. Card is difficult to block because it can just sacrifice an enchantment or a creature at instant speed to gain first strike and gets the power bonus. Take it here over Omen, I think, and over Citizen Training. But yeah, let's take Slaughter Priest. Let's just head our bets into black-red. Right, black-red is definitely open. There's a pretty late Faithful End pick 6. This card is excellent. 3 mana, deal 3 to any target. Scry 1 is pretty solid. Alternatively, there's Incendiary Oracle, which is a good 2-drop as well, and not much else here. So yeah, could be a sign we should move into red-black, perhaps, potentially, or maybe take it as a sign that red is open. But yeah, I'm kind of committed to black-red, seeing this Slaughter Priest in the Faithful End. And Final Flare is also pretty solid in black-red too. There's a possibility we can end up in white-red maybe. Some of these cards are okay, but I'm fine just taking Final Flare. If we pick up some of those omens, especially like Omen of the Forge or Omen of the Dead, we can sacrifice the enchantments to deal 5 to target creature, which can be relevant. So yeah, let's try it here. And yeah, there's our Omen of the Dead. Can just snatch up now. Nice 2-for-1. Being able to 1 mana at instant speed return any target creature from your graveyard to hand is quite efficient. And then it's also an enchantment we can put in the yard. For example, the Euphemia, the Cacophony. We can also bring it back. Yeah, just the omens are all pretty good. Maybe the worst omen is, I think, the Green Omen, which helps you, but even then it's not that bad because it helps you splash. And yeah, seeing some okay blue cards. Flicker Fade's also okay, but maybe it's time to just go into black-red. And then in black-red, you do end up with a couple of escape creatures, so a card like Funeral Rites or Thrill of Possibilities could be pretty decent. Not sure which one is better. Funeral Rites puts more cards in the graveyard. Thrill of Possibility is cheaper. For now, I think I'll just take the cheaper Thrill of Possibilities. Funeral Rites is okay though, but but at 3 mana it could be a little bit of a drawback. Whereas Thrill is kind of, it's kind of similar, except it maybe puts only 2 cards in the graveyard, whereas like the Funeral Rites puts 3, which could be relevant if we end up with more escape creatures. But we'll see. And then not much else here I really care about. Just take a random Nihilius Huntmaster. I don't think I'm taking that 4 mana. I don't think this card's very good. I think it's pretty bad. Yeah, not much else here too. Maybe just take a random Aspect of Manticore. If we end up more aggressive, it could be okay. And then Slaughter Priest of Mogus. Soul Reaper of Mogus isn't bad. Fine blocker. Plays well in the whole black-red sacrifice plan in this set. And yeah, it's also an enchantment creature. I think I like him more than Oria, the Mountain plays. Oria's okay as a fine blocker, but there's enough better 2s in this format. I don't think I care about it. So yeah, I think we'll just try the black-red, which I think is one of the best decks in the format. So we'll see as we open up. Not much else here. There's Home in the Forge, I guess, and Soul Reaper Mogus, which are our options. Haktos is a decent rare. Can be pretty powerful, and red-white is really strong. But yeah, it's also not all that impressive at times since it's hard to cast. But if you can cast it exactly on turn 4, it could be a bit of a problem to deal with. But yeah, it's not unbeatable. Rise of Glory is pretty good. Reverend Hoplite is also good, but I think we're committed to black-red here. Otherwise, the other option I can see is going red-green. But yeah, I don't mind an Omen in the Forge. It's enchantment we can put in a yard. We can sacrifice it to Final Flare, and yeah, sometimes you just need the early 2-mana deal 2 to answer threats like Mischievous Chimera, which can get out of hand. So take an Omen. Ooh, Elspeth's Nightmare is excellent. I mean, I do need more creatures, but yeah, this is another great saga. One of the best uncommons in the set, for sure. Kill a creature in the early game, or just any power 2 or less, and then you can remove a non-creature, non-land. And then the third chapter, being able to exile the target's opponent's graveyard, is actually quite relevant in the set, given this is a set that cares a lot about having things in the graveyard to escape. Yeah, we'll take it over, I think, a Discordant Piper, which would be my second choice here, just to give us a 2-mana creature that we can sacrifice. But yeah, Elspeth's Nightmare is a great 2-for-1. Again, we do need to make sure we pick up enough creatures, but yeah, I'm not going to pass up an Elspeth's Nightmare. The card's just too good. And wow, Iroh's Blessing is great. Nice 4-mana removal. Plays best in the red-white deck, where you have a lot of heroic synergies, where when you target a creature, you can give your whole team a bonus. But I'm still going to take it here, since it's just a really solid removal spell, and it allows you to enhance a creature. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not too many creatures in this pack that I like. Like Alseid is pretty good. Loathsome Chimera is good too, but nothing in our colors, so I'm taking Iroh's Blessing. Probably the best red common. Right, I think I'm just going to take Underworld Charger, because we really need creatures. It can't block, so that's a little bit problematic, but I don't really see myself taking anything else. I could consider Portent of Betrayal, but we have so many non-creature spells already that I really need some creatures in order to close out the game. Like, if you take a look at our creature count, it's incredibly low. We only have like 3 creatures, so I think we just have to sell the Underworld Charger. Portent of Betrayal is definitely better than Underworld Charger in black-red, since again there's a lot of good creatures with cheap sack outlets, and I mean, I guess there's cheap sack outlet abilities and stuff, but it's another non-creature spell. And then, yeah, speaking of creatures, there's an Underworld Ragehound, which I also like. There's also the Heroes of the Revel. Could be a 5-mana creature, makes a 1/1 that we can sacrifice on turn 5. Underworld Ragehound is okay. It's pretty good if you can get it out early, but the problem with this card is that it's forced to attack, and in the late game, if you force an opponent to attack, it's not great. Either way, you know, they're both just medium cards. I think they're both similar in power level. I think I'm just going to take Underworld Ragehound, given that it's cheaper, and even if it gets blanked in the late game, who cares? We can just sacrifice it to like one of our other creatures, and then we can be okay. And then we'll take an Incendiary Oracle. It's a good 2-drop. Never really got off the Storm Herald. I think this is more of a constructed playable back then. Yeah, there's auras in this set, but just not a whole ton. You don't really want to build your deck around a bunch of auras just for one card. Yeah, 3-mana 3/2s also just trades down a lot. So let's just take an Incendiary Oracle. Get another 2, and then yeah, take a Discordant Piper as a nice 2-drop. So sure, our 2-drops are now filling up quite nicely. Might not have to play as Underworld Charger, so we'll see. And yeah, we'll take a Funeral Rites now. Stampede Rider's okay. It's best in the green-red deck, where you're more focused on the 4-power matter synergy with cards like Loathsome Chimera and Warden of the Chain. You could still play him in black-red, but we don't have a lot of 4-power, so I'll take a Funeral Rites here. Maybe we do end up playing multiple escape creatures, and who knows, we'll probably play second Soul Reaper Mogus if we're low life creatures. Unfortunately, our creatures aren't all that amazing. Most of them, they're good 2-drops, but we need some heavy hitters, some 5-drops that can beat down hard, like the Scovos War Leader or the Raged Guard Berserker, but we'll see. Next Marauder, probably just going to take it here since I don't want a second Final Flare, third Soul Reaper. It's not all that impressive, but if you have some Black Devotion synergy, it can be okay. Same with Temple Thief, it's also just kind of filler. But if you need a 2-drop, you need a 2-drop, so we'll just put it to the side for now. And pretty late Acolyte of Affliction, this card's quite excellent if you end up in a mid-rangey, grindy black-green escape deck. Not going to splash it, but I'll also take it, since I don't really care about anything else. guess we'll just, these are kind of the pile that we, Saber's Cutting is an unplayable. I really don't like Nick's Workford. I think that card's pretty bad. I'll put Saber's Cutting on the sideboard just in case. And yeah, these are kind of the maybe piles, and then the rest of these I'm happy with. Alright, now there's this pack, which, you know, has some okay 2s. I can maybe hope to wheel one of them, since the best card for us here would be like Inevitable End, which can be an improvement over, say, I don't know, like a Final Flare. It's not bad. It's pretty bad against a deck that's playing lots of tokens, but usually they do just need to end up sacrificing their most important creature. So I'll take it here, since otherwise we'd be looking at a medium 2-drop, which we can wheel. All these are kind of replaceable. I don't want too many Underworld Rage Hounds too. Good 2-drop, but it's, again, has a bit of drawback. I think the best card in this pack is actually Shimmerwing Chimera, but I'm not going to splash it. Yeah, pack 1, pick 1, I'll probably take Shimmerwing Chimera. This card's pretty excellent with Omens, but I don't think we're in that position, so just take an Inevitable End. Another enchantment we can put in sideboard. So a 2-drop I also like is Mara Triton. Helps Feel Escape, and yeah, it's also just gains a bit of life, and it's a 2/1 Death Touch, so I'm happy seeing this. Alternatively, there's a Mocha's Favor, which I also think is a pretty good card as well. It's not a card we want to exile with the Euphemia, but it can be a way to punish 1 toughness, maybe enhance a creature to get an attack across. But I'm still just going to take Mara Triton because I think it's a better card, and Mocha's Favor is a common that tends to wheel, seeing a second Shimmerwing Chimera, so someone in blue is going to be happy. Just going to take Mara Triton here. And then I'm just going to take Lampad. Lampad, I think, is a pretty important component in these black base sacrifice decks too. It's a cheap outlet. You can punish opponents' removal spells. If they try to, for example, cast a 5-mana Final Death on a pretty important creature with escape, you can sacrifice it to the Lampad with the cheap activation cost to prevent from getting exiled. Definitely going to be happy with our first copy, since I was hoping to get one. But yeah, this deck could use some heavy hitters, and we don't have much, so maybe the game plan is just attrition. Well, this package is full of insane cards. Eat to Extinction, Mara's Grasp are like the best 2 cards. I'm kind of light on 5-drops, so I might actually just take the Heroes of the Revel. Like, our removal is already really solid. I hate passing up an Eat to Extinction, since this is just the best card overall. But I think I gotta have to take the 5-drop here, since we have 0 5-mana creatures that we have in the deck, and we already have like Inevitable End, Faithful End, Iroh's Blessings, Final Deaths already, so, and also Final Flare. So I'm not really desperate for removal, so I'm actually just gonna take the Rebel here. It's definitely a step down, but I think it's fine. And then here is an argument between the Scorn Piper and Incendiary Oracle. I think the Oracle is just a better 2-drop. Even though the Scorn Piper has more sacrifice synergy. The fact that it can pump itself in the late game is quite important, and then being able to exile certain creatures when it trades is pretty nice. So I'll take it over. I'll take the second one over the Scorn Piper. And then yeah, not much else here. The best cards like Sunmane Pegasus. Not going to play another Underworld Charger. Maybe I guess I'll just take a Nyxborn Brood in case we desperately need a 5-drop, which I highly doubt we're going to be playing. And then I do like them as Hierophant as a good 4-drop. Yeah, this card's also an overperformer. Gonna take it over second Omen, since we are kind of, again, light on creatures. Only 13 creatures so far, so we need to up our creature count. So it's gonna take it over Portents and Omen. Grip Position's okay, it's more of a sideboard card. I don't think it's all that impressive, though. I'm still gonna take it here. Yeah, over not much else. There's a second, I don't know, Thrill, but I don't think we need a second Thrill, since we could just play Funeral Rites and Thrill. Take a Tempo, who knows, we might see some crazy green card in the final packs, and I don't really want to play double Final Flare. And then this is the unplayable black card I was just mentioning about. Yeah, even late Lost and Chimera too. So, just take a random card, since I highly doubt we'll be playing any of those. And we could just go 16 lands with, like, I don't know, an Underworld Charger, maybe a Temple Thief. Since again, we're kind of light on creatures, and we also have a really low curve, not a bunch of expensive 5-drops. So, had I taken the Eat to Extinction, we'd probably be a control deck. But yeah, this seems okay. Anything in the sideboard that's relevant, not much. Like maybe I don't know, this is kind of whatever. This is also whatever. Don't care about any of these. This is more like a utility creature. And I'm kind of fine with all the 2-drops we have. The Thrill of Possibilities can also thin out the deck. I'm happy with maybe double Soul Reaper and Mogus as well, just to have a bit more creatures in the deck. So we could just run 16 lands since the curve isn't very high. We do have a couple of mana sinks though, and we might need some lands to discard to the Thrill of Possibilities, so maybe we could make one more cut out of this deck. I don't think we can cut any creatures though, so what would be the final cut? A non-creature spell perhaps, but I do want to play everything, kind of. So not sure here. Maybe we just go 16 lands and, you know, say screw it. Like, the card I'm thinking of cutting is Soul Reaper. It's not all that impressive, just a fine blocker. We don't have many 3-drop creatures though, but overall it's just kind of clunky. We aren't looking to actively sacrifice constantly either, and the fact that the Soul Reaper can only sacrifice creatures makes it a bit of a liability, whereas some of these other cards we have can sacrifice like enchantments. Yeah, I don't think we need Soul Reaper. It's just fine blocker, but it's not all that impressive really. But I mean, we are kind of light on creatures, so we might have some troubles closing out, but we can maybe escape some of our creatures in the late game. Maybe try to burn them out with some of our removal spells. Maybe, yeah, I think the whole point is just to get in for chip damage and try to end the game that way. So, yeah, we have a pretty aggressive 2-drop curve. Clear a path with some removal spells and take it from there. How many enchantments do we have for Final Flare to sacrifice? Could sacrifice the Arrows Blessing. The Heroes of the Revel makes a 1/1 we can sack. Because I guess we can even sack our own Inevitable End, but that doesn't make a whole ton of sense. We could sacrifice Elspeth's Nightmare on the 3rd trigger on a stack. That can be kind of a cool combo with Final Flare. The Omen of the Forge can be something we can sack. The Scorn Piper makes a body, Omen, so we have some okay things to sack. So yeah, I might just play it here. Seems a lot better than everything else, and run 17 lands, slightly favoring black, so yeah, let's give this a shot. So, always Rakdos in TBH, Theros Beyond Death. Yeah, I'm always drafting black-red in this set for some reason. I guess it's in the Mardu Alley, but the deck I haven't showcased a whole ton of in this format, which is also one of the best decks, is the red-white Boral Skull-Wide Heroic deck, which is really strong with things like Wrapped in Flames, Hero to Pride, and the 3-mana 3/2 that pops the team. That one I haven't showcased at all in my channel. Mostly just been drafting a lot of black base Escape and Aura decks. And this hand could be okay if we get a single red mana, but if we draw any more red spells, it's not amazing. I don't really want to play Omen on turn 1, so I could see myself going for a mulligan here. And we're also on the draw, so I don't think it's going to punish us that badly, so let's go. Alright, could always bottom a land. Don't have any double black or double red spells currently. I have slightly more black creatures than red creatures, so maybe I can bottom a mountain. So yeah, let's try this. Hopefully this doesn't punish us. And I don't want to go down to 5, so we can Funeral Rites on 3 or maybe Fateful End, we'll see. Could see the turn 3 make 2 1/1s as well from the opponents, but this is turn 2, so we'll see. It's the Flash enchantments, so might not attack if he just passes the turn and does nothing. Alright, does nothing, so let's see here. I mean, I do get him for 1, but he hits back for 2. You could also flash into Vexengold, but maybe it's just fine to just cast our Funeral Rites for now, and then just stay back with the Land Pad in case he has the card that flashes into 2 1/1s. So we'll just pass. Could see the Omen of the Omen here. That's the 3 mana, make 2 1/1s, gain 2 life, which is a good card. So he didn't play it, so that's interesting. He could be keeping up a Deny to the Vine, which is exile creature counter spell, so maybe I need to play around that over 2 creatures, so it does seem like he is projecting it, or at least making it seem like he has it. So I think we wait here, because if I play out Mire Triton, I can't do anything else. So I'll pass it in case he tries to enhance the Pious Wayfarer. I can maybe respond with a removal spell to take him out. So we'll see. Next turn we can try to run out the Mire Triton and go from there. But yeah, white-blue is also one of the best decks in the format. Blue in general is pretty bad, but when it's combined with white, it's pretty excellent. So I could Fateful End this, but I think I'm just going to block and see what happens. If he tries to enhance his Pious Wayfarer, then I'll kill it with Fateful End. And there it is, Caramendra's Blessing. I can Final Flare. I think I'll just Fateful End and see what's up. He could also have a Pump spell here. And I guess if he pumps it, then we're just gonna... It's gonna gain Hexproof, and then I guess we'll sacrifice the Land Pattern response. But first, let's just try to have everything resolved first. And then... yeah, we'll sacrifice our Land Pattern response because... yeah, he's protecting it. So now, what we can do is we can either Final Death this, or maybe run out Mire Triton. Mire Triton could be okay. This way we can still keep up a Final Flare, because he could have another Starlight Mantle, and this is blocks in 2-3, so it's highly unlikely he wants to attack with this. So we'll do this instead and pass the turn. We just want to bait out all of his combat tricks and save up some better removal. So we want, if we trade this off, we won't have a creature to use with Iroh's Blessing, but I think I'm okay, since he already invested a lot of resources, and it's likely that he tries to run out something here, and he does. So yeah, I guess if he gives this X1, I guess he's gonna have 2 Devotion to black. This, and then we can punish him with Final Flares. Let's just try to make him use all his tricks so he doesn't get full value, and then now what I can do is, since there's no discard ability, I guess I'll just run out the Silver. So not seeing a Deny Divine, I think I'm going to pass and not use our Rose Blessing on the 1-3, since I don't really think this is a big problem. So maybe if he enhances it with like things like Staggering Insight, I might use it next turn, but for now, I think it's okay just running this out. And hopefully he doesn't have any more tricks or auras. Maybe I should have kept land in case I top deck a Thrill of Possibility. So yeah, I should definitely hold on to a land and start running everything out here. But so far we've been playing around with the opponent stuff. So yeah, this only targets creatures, so I won't be able to target this with Iroh's, and I'm just only taking 1 per turn, so I think I'm just going to pass the turn and not worry too much. Yeah, he's just poking at me for 1, which isn't a huge deal. The problem with this deck is that it could lack some win conditions, so I'm not sure. I don't think I can sacrifice the 1 with the stars. No, I can sacrifice itself, I guess, because it counts itself as an enchantment. So, yeah, alright, Elspeth's Nightmare seems pretty good here. The Randy Singer is a fine target. And then we'll see if he has a response. If he does, it's okay, because I do still bait out a non-creature spell. He could counter this, but I'm also okay with that, because it's not an escape creature, and either way, it's still getting rid of a card in his hand. So it's either he loses his counter spell, or he loses a creature and his quote-unquote counter spell or powerful. So we'll take this out and see what's up. He could also use it to pump the Singer to keep it around. He might have another pump trick. Right, that's fine. He still wastes a spell. Keeps his flyer around, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. We'll just pass. Maybe he's looking to enhance his Singer with a aura or something, but next turn we get the Spy on his hand and see what's up. Maybe get rid of some counter spells, potentially, so we'll see. So we'll see what he tries here. Yeah, his opponent's also playing a low count, a deck with maybe a low creature count, and a few flying wind conditions, so as long as you have a ton of removal, you can really mess with him, so. Thassa's Intervention, sure. So I'm not sure why he did that. I guess he didn't want us to get rid of the Thassa. So that's okay, but we get to maybe still take a card here, so these are pretty annoying. The Triumphant Surge, Sunmane Pegasus, Stern Dismissal isn't as bad. Stern Dismissal is annoying against, for example, my Iroh's Blessing, but it can only target my creatures' enchantments, so I think we just get rid of Triumphant Surge for now. Run out the Discordant Piper. And then he does have a Stern Dismissal for this turn, so I could actually cast a Iroh's Blessing here, just to play around the Stern Dismissal. I mean, it does get rid of his flyer, but yeah, if he Stern Dismissals here, it's going to be quite bad. So I think we actually just run out the Iroh's Blessing, giving that he has a lack of creatures. And then instead of like this 3-2, he can start attacking past the Sunmane, and I can also Final Death the 2-3 and not get punished, because if I try to cast the Iroh's Blessing next turn, he can just Stern Dismissal my Discordant Piper and mess with me, so I think that's okay. Not sure if I sacrifice the Elspeth's Nightmare on a stack, does it do anything? Not really. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything, so we'll just let this resolve. Yeah, this doesn't do anything, and then we can attack for 3. And the question is, do I Final Death the Sunmane? I don't think I do yet. I mean, he might try to use it on the Iroh's Blessing. So he bounces my 3-2, I think that's okay. I guess I'll just develop the board as opposed to running off the Final Death. Since I'm not really scared of this. It can gain life, but the thing is, I don't really mind it being able to gain life. I want to save the Final Death for maybe something scarier that he's planning with the Sunmane Pegasus. But if he's just going to attack me for 2 in the air and gain 2 life, that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. We can always sacrifice our Discordant Piper next turn and draw a card. So sure, yeah, I wish this Soul Reaper can target enchantments, since our Slaughter Priest is an enchantment. But it can't, so... I want to save this for a potential staggering insight on the Sunmane Pegasus, so... I do have a lot of cheap cards, so I could just attack with both next turn and just sacrifice the Discordant Piper. Although, I guess we might as well sacrifice Piper since it's not attacking past a 2-3, unless I remove the Sunmane Pegasus. And again, I'm not sure if I want to use Final Death on the Sunmane. I could also just keep up the sack ability at instant speed, and Final Death the Sunmane Pegasus. So we could throw possibilities as well. So yeah, why not? I think I'm just gonna thrill, and then if I get another land, I'll play it out. And then we can still sack Discordant Piper and keep a Final Death in the same turn, so that's fine. And then could run out the Underworld Charger as well. Or keep a Final. I think I'm fine running out the Underworld here. See if he has. He didn't have Counterspell in his hand, but now he has it, so that's kind of right. Good Counterspell. I guess we'll just have to take 2 in the air again. We have some more creatures in the deck, of course, so... And a way for us to get back a creature with Omen in the dead, so... I was fine tapping out. I think he just drew into that too. And opponent still doesn't have any auras or things to equip onto the Sun main, so again, I'm still okay taking 2 in the air. It's kind of annoying that he's gaining the life, but again, I don't really see a reason to risk using Final Death on a single flyer that might get out of hand, so... Alright, yeah, we'll run out the Oracle, I guess, keep a Final Death, and then sacrifice the Discord Piper end of turn. Could see a second to deny Divine. So yeah, he's just keeping up all of his instances here. Just pass, do nothing. And then maybe sacrifice Piper end of turn. Oracle can start attacking. Alright, Sentinel's Eyes is kind of annoying. I might actually let this resolve first. I guess if I let this resolve, he could have a Karametra's Blessing. So, I think I just fire it off here. Because what happens is if he has a Karametra's Blessing, and enchantments on the creature, it gets hexproof, so I think it's fine using Final Death. And then he also has an Alseid here, so that's interesting, so he might just pump the Alseid instead. I guess he's just gonna make this into a 2/2 lifelinker, which is fine. The Soul Reaper can keep this back. If I can Omen the Forge, that's nice. So just gonna fire this off. Could have also attacked first and see what he would have done, because if he had another trick, he could have played around the Omen, so maybe I should attack with these 2 first to see if he would do some sort of pump shenanigans, but hopefully I don't get punished doing this. And I don't, so yeah, now I'm fine pumping with the Oracle, and then attacking with everyone. And we'll see if I want to sacrifice the Scorn Piper end of turn. Glory Bearers is pretty decent. Alright, so I'm going to sacrifice the Scorn since I can't really attack past it with the Piper. Maybe keep this back on defense. I still have some removal in the deck too. Decent amount, so... I kind of need my red mana. I think I sack the goat here. Omen of the Dead isn't bad, so red is good. I guess I just want to keep up the Incendiary Oracle's ability, and then end the turn use Omen. What do I use Omen on? Maybe the Ephemia, or I can just do it now, or I can just sacrifice Omen of the Forge and maybe Scry. If I get Ephemia now, I get a 2/1 flyer, but then I can't keep this up, and it could be important to deal with the Glory Bearer, so I'm just going to pass the turn and say go. I guess he could try to enhance Glory Bearers, and then maybe I need to set up a double block here. But that's okay, because that's still a trade. Unless the opponent has another trick on his sleeve. Ooh, Staggering Insight, not a good sign. So I might have to just chump and sack here to prevent him from drawing a card and gaining life. I guess I can still double block this if he throws in the Sentinel's Eyes and it's still a trade. Yeah, I guess I'll try that instead and hope he doesn't have another card to blow me out with. And then maybe I can bring back Ephemia end of turn and start exiling some enchantments on my end step and making some creatures, so... Yeah, I'm fine if he uses Sentinel's Eyes here, or if he attacks these, I'm definitely going to set up a double block. Does he have another creature here? That could be kind of annoying. I think I go for the double block, and if he doesn't, then I could scry end of turn. I think we run out the Omen of the Dead first and see what's up. Bring back, I guess I can bring back Martrine, but I'm kind of low on cards. Only have 10 cards left, so I don't want to mill myself. I think we just get Ephemia. And then, yeah, I guess we can sacrifice one of these Omens. Maybe sacrifice a red one since I have more black mana to keep up. I guess I don't mind a Hero of the Revels to get a decent blocker. Since the Unroll Ragehound's force attack. I'm still going to keep the Unroll Ragehound around, but the fact that it's force attack is the problem is I'm fine with this. And we can just say go. And the turn exile Omen. And start flying over. Watcher of Tomorrow's pretty good. I could scry this to the bottom. Yeah, maybe I don't need it, so I might just scry this away on my upkeep. I could also sack it to the Soul Reaper as well, which isn't a bad idea as well, since I might want to put this in the graveyard. It would be down on a bit of mana, but I think it's okay. So I think I'm just gonna take my draw step. Not gonna go Rage Hound. Sack the Soul Reaper. Just a land, and I think we need to run out the land here just to be safe. And then, yeah, this is only gonna be a 4/2, so I don't run it into a Glory Bearers. Let's bring back our. Probably take 3 in the air or 4. But he doesn't have enough to escape Sentinel's Eye, so I need to wait until I find one of my removal spells to deal with this Witness of Tomorrows. Remember, I might just sacrifice this 1/1 token end of turn to the Soul Reaper to draw a card, as opposed to scrying with Omen. But it's almost like drawing a card, I guess, if you're scrying in the late game, so I might just sacrifice his Omen instead. Yeah, if I try to go all in here, I might just have to do something. Commanding Presence, alright, so that's a problem, especially since that has first strike, so I think I just need to chump in a sack here to prevent the life gain and the card advantage, and maybe draw our inevitable end to deal with this Glory Bearers. Alright, so opponent's attacking. Yeah, I don't have a good block on this. I mean, let's see, if I do block with everything, block, first strikes away. I guess I can take out the 6/7, so I guess that's not a bad idea. But I lose a bunch of my creatures, which isn't great. So if I block here and here, he's going to first strike these away first. I guess I don't have enough unless I put a Themia in front, so if I double block like this, he's just going to kill both of these immediately, and then that's only 7, so I think I need to chump in sack here. So I'm going to block here, and then before damage, sack the 2/2 to draw a card. And then not sure if I want to put a stop on my upkeep to find my inevitable end. Might want to. Yeah, I think I will. So put a stop on my upkeep. Find my inevitable end, put it onto the Glory Bearers. Venomous Hierophants, okay, but I don't think I need it here. Yeah, I think I need to bomb 2 of these cards. I probably need to put Hierophant last because I don't want to mill myself. So let's try this. Let's draw inevitable end, there it is. So, yeah, means phase. There's inevitable end on the 6/7. And then I can still chump and sack here, end of turn. I can attack with a 4/4, so I think that's okay. So I can also attack with the Incendiary Oracle as well. But then if I pump this and he blocks, then I don't get to chump and sack. And I don't really want him gaining life and drawing a card, so I think we just attack for 4 here. Then I'm fine running out land here too. Pass the turn, make another 2/2. He gets a scry. Witness, alright. But he needs to stack on his upkeep, so keeps it on top, very interesting. Alright, hopefully that's not a problematic card. So let's see if he stacks the Glory Bearers here. He might have a second Staggering Insights on top, hopefully not. So let's see if he stacks the Witness of Tomorrows. Oh, he does? Alright, so I guess we just try chump and sack. Hopefully he doesn't have a way to make tokens, that might prolong the game. Alright, Peleus Pilgrim is pretty annoying, succeeded to find the aura. So yeah, if I chump and sack, I'm gonna get closer to lethal, but I really can't afford to allow him to draw a card here, so I could also just chump and not sack, but then he gains the life, which could be a little bit problematic. So I guess what we need to do is just chump for 2 more turns and then take it from there. So I'm probably just gonna chump and sack to prevent the life gain, because I don't think I can win if he gains 7 life here. So yeah, let's just do this, and hopefully we don't end up decking ourselves too soon. If I can find a removal spell for Helios Pilgrim, that would be nice. Not sure if I have anything left. So we'll say go, and then yeah, not much left. So let's just escape this. And then I guess we'll attack for 2 in the air. And then hopefully he doesn't get another creature off the top. No more creatures. I think I just chump with them. Alright, just a Field of Ruins, so we might be able to win this. Just because I guess if we chump and sack here and swing out, we should be able to win. So yeah, let's just do this. Or I guess he can still block with the 7/6, so yeah, that's a problem. But he should be... yeah, he should lose his Glory Bringers Bearers next turn, and we should be able to close out. I guess I'll have to sack the Underworld Rage Hound. Oh crap, I forgot about that. Alright, I might as well sack it now, just in case. I guess I can attack with all and then sack whatever he's blocking. Alright, I guess that's fine. The combat, attack with all. And then sack whatever he's blocking. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I guess that's lethal. So I don't really need to sack and draw a card. I can just sack to the Soul Reaper ability. And then yeah, that should be game over. So, yeah. Pretty interesting game. But yeah, we were almost about to deck ourselves. Almost lost our, we were out of removal as well, but still managed to get there. That was fun. Alright, and we have some 2-drops here. Alright, I can keep. Hopefully find something we can discard. Which one do I run out first here? Recognizing Remorse is interesting. Alright. Just a bunch of fine cards. He might just get rid of removal spell here. And then, what do I run out? We don't have a turn 3 play. Probably just Incendiary since I'm stuck on red mana. Just need to get rid of the red mana here so I can, so I don't have to worry if I keep drawing the red spells. Wolf Strider's pretty good. I could Faithful End, but he can escape it later. So I'm probably just fine attacking, playing out second Incendiary Oracle and hoping he doesn't have anything. Otherwise I need to keep the Incendiary Oracles back. Because the fact that they can exile Wolf Strider is pretty relevant to Matrix. Alright, one has definitely strong black deck. Alright, when Matrix enters the battlefield, target opponent looks at your top 3 cards in your library and separates one of them into face down pile and the face up pile. Put one pile in your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So I probably want to put this on the face up pile here and then just give him 2 lands. The top pile will be face down, so I think I just make him choose 2 lands here and then hit done. Because I want to intentionally think he's going to get more value by taking 2 cards but instead gets a land, so that's fine. And then could attack with both. Could keep a Faithful End. The fact that this has Menace is kind of annoying. Yeah, I kind of like just getting aggressive here. Even though he can swing back for more, and then... do I run out the Rage Hound? Rage Hound is forced to attack next turn, so... it does a little bit more damage, but I think we run out the Piper instead. Just because it can hold off the Wolf Strider at the very least. So that's fine. And then we'll take 3 from Atris since we can't block it. And again, I think the game plan here is to be aggressive here, since he's mostly looking to just outvalue me, and Blue Black is looking to play a very controlling game plan. So I think we just gotta have to pressure the opponent here while we can. And then the Wolf Strider attack is interesting. I think I'm gonna block it, but yeah, it's possible that he wants to just put in the graveyard or has a trick, but I think we go for it. And if he uses a trick, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. At least I don't have to worry about that later. I can still Fateful End the Wolf Strider way and chump and stack with a land pad, so that's okay. Alright, I guess we attack with both. Could see a counter spell here, could see the Knight of the Vine, we'll see. Fine with chump. That'd be sacks. I get into 2. And then, yeah, I think I'll double 2-drop here. Could also, what's this? A bounce spell, maybe? Alright, since he's tapping out, I think I can Fateful End the Wolf Strider, although he will be able to escape it eventually. He does gain 2 life here, which is kind of annoying, so I might actually just play out my 2 creatures here. And I think that's okay, since the Underworld Ragehound does block the 4/3, and that might bait out another removal spell or trick. So I think this is fine. It's also mana efficient, so there's his first Counterpleepus, so he takes out my land pad, which is annoying. The fact that he can escape Wolf Strider again and again is kind of annoying as well, but it's not anything I can avoid, since I don't really have any ways to exile outside of a final death, so if he attacks with Atris, I might just double block it too. Right, I could thrill possibilities first. I think I will. And not fire off a Fateful End, because I might get a land. Alright, so I have to attack with Underworld Ragehound. I'm fine with any trade here. And then we can red out Mire Triton. And no blocks, so he's aggressive. Altar looks like he might be looking to splash. Under the Stars is interesting. I can still sacrifice it to Soul Reaper, so that's fine. And then this 3/2 attacking is also interesting. I could just block it since I have Fateful End for Wolf Strider. And I don't really have any other creatures to block with, so I think this is fine. And then yeah, he can escape Wolf Strider, which is kind of annoying too. So do I just keep up Fateful End? Could just Fateful End now. I could also chump and sack the goats. I guess I can try that too, just run out Soul Reaper, just sacrifice the Underworld Ragehound next turn, and then chump with the 0/1 on the Wolf Striders, and then sack it to drain. Although this does draw a card instead. Nightmare Shepherd, right? The bomb. So this card is quite, yeah, this card's quite insane as well. So yeah, if any non-token creatures dies, he can just make copy. So if this dies, he can just bring it back, which is a problem. So I think we need to negate some damage here, so we'll just block and then sack to the land pad. Who knows, we might be able to burn him out, we'll see. Let's try this. Alright, not good. So I guess I'll main phase sack the Underworld Ragehound. Oh, never mind, it's only sacrifices creatures, I keep forgetting. Yeah, I guess the card really isn't that good. Alright, that's a problem. So I should have maybe just taken it and then sacrificed the 1/1 to Soul Reaper to draw a card. I guess I can sacrifice the Underworld. No, I can't sack it, yeah. The fact that I forgot this doesn't deal with enchantments is a bit of a problem. Alright, I guess if I kill this, then he just escapes it again, so I don't know. Kind of in a rough spot. Maybe kill this end of turn, so then he doesn't get the priority to escape. So probably just gonna take some damage here, and then, I mean, that's a lot of damage, unfortunately. So yeah, it's not looking good. I just got Fateful End this Wolf Strider. Could maybe myself a double block first in case he had a trick. Underworld Charger can't block. Yeah, that's not really what I wanted, so I need to find a way to exile the Nightmare Shepherd. And then there's no reason for him to exile the Wolf Strider since he can just escape it into a bigger body. So yeah, I don't really want to block this 3-2. Yeah, this one has all these good rares, Wolf Striders, Erebos Intervention, Nightmare Shepherd, Atris, Wolf Strider, so this is not going to be an easy game. And we're likely to just lose this. This deck is just really nutty, so... Alright, I don't think we can win. Alright, good games. Wish I forgot this only sacrifice creature, so that was a bit of a blunder on my behalf, but either way, if I didn't jump in sack, I would be taking some extra damage, which is not ideal, and then I would have just drawn those 2 lands, and then we would have been forced to jump in sack again, so either way, I don't think we could have win that. Opponent's deck just seemed a lot more powerful than ours. And there's nothing I can do, so sometimes you just gotta throw in the towel. Right, well, no 2-drops, but we have both red colors and a charger. I think it's okay. We have a lot of 2s, so I'm hoping I can draw into 1. I'll keep. Right, there's a 2-drop, so red-green, so mostly the power 4 matters type of deck. The Chaos Celebrant is a bit of a problem. The problem with this card is if I end up killing it, then it just kills one of my other creatures. So I might actually just route the Incendiary Oracle and trade for it, which, you know, is a step down, but I think I just get rid of it now since there's nothing. If I spend a turn doing nothing, that could be a bit of a problem. You could also have a fight spell with this Chaos Celebrant, so you could see a Warbrier's Blessing here. Hopefully no Warbrier's Blessing because I'm down to just trade, honestly. No attacks. Alright, Omen could deal with this, but it's going to take out my Oracle, so I think I just attack and offer to trade. No blocks. Next turn, if he keeps this back, he might be looking to block Charger and then kill my Oracle, which is still fine since this will still live and stick around. Alright, big land on my Charger, but luckily I can bring it back eventually, so just going to take 2 here. Then I think we Funeral Rites here, because by Funeral Rites we get to make it more likely we can cast this next turn, so I guess that does allow us to cast next turn, so build some cards, and then we can escape the Underworld Charger next turn. Hydrax Tower Scout, right? So the question is now, do I want to attack with the Incendiary Oracle? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to escape the Underworld Charger and then block the Chaos Celebrant if he attacks with it. And I don't really want to waste my turn pumping just to trade up with the Hydrax Tower Scout, so let's get this going. Next turn I can attack. You could double block and then take out my Oracle, but then again I can eventually get this back. Yep, and the fact that he's forced to constantly use removal on the World Charger is also a good sign. So then we'll run out land. Maybe take 3 again and pass. Could also block and pump with the Incendiary Oracle. I guess that works too. Mostly go keep up our instances. So let's see if he tries anything. If he does, I can punish him with our instant. Alright, so he gets to pump his creature. Sherms by 1. And I can still pump my Oracle and trade. He gets to trample over, but that's fine. I can take some damage and then end of turn take out this Celebrant. So yeah, let's just block here. Pump. And then I don't want to take out the Celebrant because if he does, he can take out my Oracle, so this is okay. What does he have here? Maybe a 1-mana pump trick? And then, yeah, let's take out the Celebrant here. And do I scry my upkeep? I don't think so. Right, Infuriate, so he had a trick all along, fair enough. Right, the problem is that I'll be taking 2 damage here. So I think that's okay. I could also Final Flare, take out the Careless Celebrant. Maybe I need to wait for this to resolve first, not sure. We'll go. Yeah, maybe it's okay using Final Flare here because I don't really want to take 4 damage. Hope he doesn't have anything. Because the damage is just a little bit too much at this point. Rider, sure. Temple Thief, not all that impressive. I can escape an Underworld Charger. This can do a decent amount of damage, but I don't think I want to use Final Death on this, so I think we just escape the Underworld Charger here. And then run out the Temple Thief. And then save Final Death for something scarier. Although my Temple Thief can't block the 2-3, so I mean it can block and chump, but it's not ideal, so I'm hoping I can top deck something better. But yeah, I'll be taking 6 damage here if he has a power 4 creature, so it's not good. I guess we'll take 6 and might die here. I'm not blocking a 6-4 with a 2-2. Maybe he's just out of stuff. Hydrex Tower Scout, sure. So I have to attack the Underworld since it can't block. But first, this Thrill of Possibilities. Yeah, this is bad. I kind of need a creature here. Martriton's not bad, so that's good for the life gain. Then I have a Final Death here. So I'm going to let his Final Advantage resolve first, since he's most likely going to try to fight my Temple Thief. And then I can exile whatever he targets, and then Martriton can block whatever he tries to attack with. So unless he has a removal spell here, I'm pretty much dead, so... So the question is, do I double block the Stampede? I might have to, just to make sure I don't take too much trample damage. Because this can still trample over for 1, which is a problem. I'm almost dead here, so... And just a land, so not a good sign. I guess I'm forced to maybe chump next turn, we'll see. Yeah, I guess I'll just hold on to this land to maybe make it seem like I have a spell, so I need a pretty good top deck next turn. Alright, just mix a 2-2, that's fine, so I need to block. He doesn't do anything, alright. I guess I just attack with both, force a trade, and then we can chump one of them. Either way, I guess it's fine if I stay back still, but this forces a trade, but... Yeah, I guess I'm fine attacking just with the 5-5 because this blocks here, makes it. I guess it's 3 damage, never mind, I should have... No, I guess it's lethal anyways, right? No, it's not lethal because he still absorbs 2. I think this can block. So let's see if he attacks this turn. If not, I can make these pretty decent trades. I guess... Yeah, I guess I can't do that because I'll die since this is trample over 1, so never mind. Force it to top deck and kill spell here, removal. Alright, that's pretty decent. I guess I can gain some life here, force a chump. Alright, that's fine. We can use Omen. Bring back Martriton. Play out the Martriton. And then we can even Omen in the turn, we can gain some life. Ooh, we got the Underworld Rayhound too, so that's nice. So yeah, the escape card's coming in handy. This can then block. And I can still activate Omen end of turn, so that was a pretty nice hit off my Margarine. Opponent's forced to chump with the Underworld Rage Hound here. He can escape it back next turn, but next turn I can still block both of these and stay alive. I can also keep one back to take a risk, but I think I got a trade here just to be safe, so the high risk route would be just to block with maybe the Rage Hound, take 2, but yeah, I don't think I can afford to do that. If he does get a 4-power creature, then I guess I'm dead, because he can then trample over for 3. I guess he could just escape the Underworld Rage Hound. Well, never mind, he can just run out of haste creatures, so I guess I'm just dead. Yeah, I guess I'm just dead here. I guess I can fall to 1. Yeah, I guess he messed up here. He should have escaped the Underworld Rage Hound, because by escaping it, then he could have pumped the Stampede Riders. So I think he messed up there, so I think the blocks go like this, and then we fall to 1. Since this doesn't have trample. I think he messed up there. He should have escaped this to pump the Stampede Riders to trample over for lethal. Yeah, he should have escaped the Underworld Rage Hound, so... There's a land pad, Rage Hound, just need a land to curve out. Yeah, sure, I can try it. Probably just run out the Rage Hound. Although running into an Incendiary Oracle with a Rage Hound doesn't seem amazing. But he might stay back with this. Do I mind though? I mean, trading for this isn't the worst, but the fact that I can't bring this back is bad. I do have a second escape creature in the deck. Otherwise, if I play land pad, that doesn't really accomplish much, so I think I'm just gonna round Rage Hound. And then probably don't mind just trading. If he attacks, I don't think I block right, so probably gonna see a trade here. Could also run Inevitable End, but I'm forced to attack, so could also use Final Flare, but I don't think it's a good idea, so I'm fine getting this exiled. Wow, opponent takes it, doesn't block. Right, so if that's the case, I guess I'll just try to run out the Soul Reaper, maybe get it countered. Mana's too expensive anyway, so I'm fine with this getting countered. I'm surprised he didn't trade the Oracle for the Rage Hound. Like, this is a pretty good trade. And then now if I get a land, I can punch with the Iron Rose Blessing. Didn't get a land, but I can Final Flare here. I guess that's okay, or I can attack and use Omen to finish it off. I guess that's also okay. Final Flare would be a lot more mana efficient though. But I guess setting this up with Omen is better, so yeah, I guess I'm fine with this right here. And then we can use Omen to finish this off, and then we got Final Flare active with the Omen next turn, so that's pretty decent. Skillful Spore Leader, so just gonna run out an Inevitable End on the 4/5, although this does deal 5. So yeah, I guess it's a good turn to just use this now while I can. Sure, so this is a pretty nice combo. Until we can finally hit a land drop. I don't know why people like this card, I don't think it's very good. It requires a pretty heavy commitment. It just basically kind of like Scry 2 in a sense, or Scry 1. I guess it comes with a Scry 2 already. But overall, it's just a very medium card. Yeah, I guess I don't mind running Temple Thief, don't mind trading it for the 2/2. As opposed to casting an Inevitable End. And then save my removal for something better. Well, runs out a little bit more. So, alright, I'll just take a bit of a beating here. Next turn, maybe run out the Inevitable End on Thassa's Oracle. Well, it doesn't pump the Oracle, interesting. Alright, I guess he has a Witness. We finally get a land. So just cast Inevitable on Witness, end of turn, use Omen, get back a creature to, you know, gear up with the Lampad. Maybe just bring back Temple Thief and that's okay. Let's see, he just stacks the Witness, so that's fine. So yeah, we're taking a bit of damage, so I'm hoping... Yeah, I need to wait to deal with this Incendiary Oracle. Yeah, that's a lot, so I could just die if he gets a removal spell at next turn. I guess he's using this turn to scry, so... Yeah, we definitely need to bring back our Temple Thief. Well, we can. Since we can escape the Rage Hound. And then probably need to run out 2 blockers here, just to be safe. You can always sack with the Lampad, so this is fine. Hopefully he doesn't keep anything on top. If he does, it could be a creature, but we have an answer to it, so keeps both on top. Not a good sign. But I'll definitely block the Oracle. And if not, alright, Soul Guide Lantern, what does this do? So he gets to exile my Underworld Rage Hound, that sucks. And then he can just sacrifice to exile everything or cycle it to draw a card. Alright, good Rage Hound. I mean, it should have traded for the Incendiary Oracle anyways, but that's fine. And then let's see if he does anything here. None, so we'll say go. And then I think I'm fine using Iroh's Blessing here, otherwise we're not doing much. And then attacking for 3 with the Temple Thief. So, I can also enhance the Lampad, but I think this is okay. Need to apply a bit of pressure, take out this Oracle since it's kind of scary. And then attack for 3, keep up Lampad. And then he's probably going to cycle the Soul Guide Lantern at a turn. And we'll have a final death up for any scary creatures he might draw into. The Vex and go. Alright, that's a pretty good one. Especially since, yeah, I can chip in for 2 now. Lose the freedom to draw a card, and then he can also cantrip this to draw another card as well, so... We might not be in a good spot here. Delirios, that's a good one. Gets a 3-2, so I'm kind of forced into a position. Alright, the Elspeth's Nightmare can exile the graveyard, so that's pretty good. I think I get rid of the Vexing Gull here. And then I can still trade for the 3-2, block the 2-3, and we can say go. He might try to use up his Glimpse of Freedom before I exile his entire graveyard, so... Definitely trade. Nice 2-for-1 from the opponents. Dream Shaper Shaman. Alright, I guess he's gonna... I guess we need to exile this, and he's choosing not to activate his Glimpse of Freedom, so... Martrine isn't bad. Into... I guess we want the Incendiary Oracle first. Alright, that's fine. Alright, no, I guess I need to wait, so we'll just have to find this. Block the 2-3, take 1. So he's going to take this turn off just to draw some cards. I guess he can only draw 1, that's fine. Yeah, the escape cost for this is so expensive that I'm not really a big fan of the blue escape cards. How do I play around the counterspell here? I guess I'd rather have the Martrine countered since this can block everything. So I might see a Deny to the Mind here to deny me some life, but I think the Oracle is a better card to get out. Right? Rip. Oracle can punch harder, this can still trade off. We don't get the life gain, but I still think it's okay. might have a removal spell. Wow, interesting. He decides not to Faithful End my face as any target, so I don't think that was a correct move from the opponent. I'm not sure. He could just kill me there, but I guess I only survived by 1 life. But he would have just That's okay. Yeah, he should have attacked my face. Oops. Well, I guess I could sacrifice my Lampad, Funeral Rites myself down to 1. Not sure if it's worth it. Probably not, since I'm most likely to just draw 1 creature, and then that 1 creature is yeah, it's not enough to block both. So I think we just say go. And yeah, this is awkward where, you know, if you're getting beaten down by an aggressive deck, the Funeral Rites doesn't do anything. So. Not always that impressive. Pretty nice in an escape deck, a more heavily focused escape deck, but we're really more of a... I mean, we have some escape and sacrifice going on, but... Manticore is a problem. So this can finish me off next turn. I need a good card. It's a land, so nope. So I guess we'll just Funeral Rites and kill ourselves, since even if I sacrifice this doesn't do anything, so... Just would have drawn 2 lands and then discarded. I mean, maybe drawn 2 Thrill, or I mean, we would have milled our Thrill possibility. So, guess there was no out there. All right, 2 and 2, not the most impressive, but still very fun. A lot more fun than new Capenna, and I love revisiting these old sets. So, we're just gonna probably fire off a second draft after this. And then see where it takes us. Alright, seems okay. Oracle into Funeral Rites. Overall, the draws were just kind of rough in the previous matchup, and the opponent was pretty aggressive. So this Pious Wayfarer could be a problem too. This card can get pretty scary if he's pretty aggressive with enchantments. So he's most likely just going to have a way to, I guess, pump his hero. Alright, let's run out the Oracle then. Not sure if I want to just Funeral Rites next turn. I guess I need to start taking some damage. So, yeah. This can be kind of scary if the opponent has multiple, like, pump spells. And I think I'm fine with this trade because the Indomitable Will, but I think I have to trade for it since it's quite a scary card. No Rim. Right, so I think we can maybe take the turn off in Funeral Rites, and then I guess we would need, like, a second red source to play both creatures out next turn. So I need to kind of get lucky with this Funeral Rites, but having to take turn 3, take off turn 3 just to draw 2 and take up a bit of a beating and lose some life isn't all that amazing. So yeah, Funeral Rites is a card I'm kind of not too amazed by, unless I end up in a grindier mid-range deck. I think this is at best in black-green escape, not red-black. Or I mean, I guess it's pretty bad against an aggressive deck, but pretty solid otherwise against a more grindier game plan. I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't find an Aura. Alright, grab the map if he's a new one. Yeah, I think we just need to fire off this Funeral Rite since I could run out a 2-drop here. I guess I could run out a 2-drop, but then, yeah, if I run out a 2-drop here, next turn I still won't be able to run out a 2-drop in the Thrill, so I think we just got Funeral Rites and hope we draw into a mountain. And we did, so that's fine. Builds double Swamp, which we don't need, so that's a good exchange. And then we can run out the 2 of our creatures next turn. Not sure which one. So Lampad can still block pretty well. I can run out Slaughter Priest, but he's most likely just going to use Dreadful Apathy on it. So I'll probably just run out Oracle here. And then Lampad. Then whichever one he uses apathy on, I can sack. I can even, I guess, Slaughter Priest isn't bad as well because I will be able to keep the sacrifice ability up for Slaughter Priest. And then he won't be able to make this into a 2-3, but I can't block it, so I'll have to take a bit of a beating. Underworld Charger isn't bad, but he can't block. So, interesting. I think I just gotta run out Slaughter Priest and keep up Guerrilla possibilities here. He's most likely gonna use this on Slaughter Priest, but I can still pump my Oracle in trade. So I'll say go, and then make him use the Dreadful Apathy here. I guess he might use on the Oracle, but then I can sack the Oracle to Slaughter Priest, so it's fine. Trade for a Pious Wayfarer to stem a bit of the bleeding. Yeah, I guess that has to resolve. There's nothing I can do about it. And then we'll take a bit of a beating from some of those creatures. Might just double pump the Heliod's Pilgrim. And I guess I'll just have to take 3 then. This only sacrifices another, alright. I could also discard this Underworld Rage Hound, to be honest, since we can easily escape it, and we don't really want this unless it can block, so I'm actually going to discard the Underworld Rage Hound here. Who else has Nightmare is pretty good. I could also run out Hero the Rebels, but I'm kind of liking this Nightmare. And since I can now keep up the Oracle or run out Piper. If I run out Piper, I still don't get a good double block. So I think we just pass a turn. And then hope he doesn't chain together 2 auras or enchantments. And then with only 1 enchantment, I can still block and trade. Alright, second Apathy. I could also sack this to deny the bonus, and I think I will. This way he only attacks for 2 to not 3, so I think this is fine. And then we can exile his graveyard in case he has any graveyard recursion shenanigans. Ooh, nice, we get to get rid of a Banishing Light, which is pretty nice. And then now what? He's gonna run out Underworld Charger next turn. I think I just run out Heroes into Euphemia. And then do I have any enchantments in the graveyard? Lampad, alright, so we can make a 2-2 end of turn, and then also this will end up in the graveyard next turn, so we can also make another 2-2. So I think we have this game locked down. Which we have a sack outlet for this Slaughter Priest. Right, so probably just gonna escape the Underworld Charger here. Get rid of some non-enchantments and try to hit the right one. This, and then I guess we just attack for 2 since I don't really want to block the 3-3 with both of these. So it's fine. And then we should be able to take over the game unless the opponent has a sweeper. I should attack with a 5-5 as well, so that's good. Should I attack with a 2-2? I could attack with a 2-2 here as well. How much damage is this? 7. If I attack with a 2-2, that's 9, so it would put him on 2-turn clock, so I think it's fine. Plus I can still block and keep up heroes. I could also keep this back because it has more toughness. Maybe just send the Piper, trade for the Heliod's Pilgrim. So sure, let's try this instead. So it gets a lot of chunk fodder. But I still have a good board presence. Hopefully I can find like a Final Flare or something to make use of this creature that's locked down by Dreadful Apathy. But he's mostly likely going to chump or train next turn, so... Alright, Dreadful Apathy, probably answering either Underworld Charger or Euphemia. I mean, he needs to deal with the flyer and the big creature, so I guess I'll sack this in response to escape it next turn. And then this also denies the trigger from Highest Wayfarer, so... You can see why having sacrifice outlets are so key in the black-red deck. And also in this format in general, they're just really good. So just need one more win to make 1,400 gems, and then we still have a long way to go. But yeah, the games are a lot more fun compared to New Capenna. There's a lot of more playable decks outside of just white, green, blue, black, and red, black. This hand could be okay. If we get a third land, Elspeth's Nightmare on curve is quite excellent. It would be pretty awesome to also get a red mountain on for Omen, but I'll try this since we're on the draw. I guess on the play I would also keep this hand. So mountain on the top is real nice, and then so I can cast an Omen next turn to deal with something problematic, and if not, we can just run out this Oracle. So any 2-power creature or less would be nice next turn. Well, that card I don't really care about as much. But I think I'll just cast it just because casting the Elspeth's Nightmare really is the way to go. I could also run out Funeral Rites, honestly, since it's possible that there's just better stuff to kill. And then he's unlikely to block this because it would be a turn. So I could actually just, again, take the turn off to cast Funeral Rites because this can target something more important and key. So I'm actually going to do that instead. I hate milling some of these mountains since I could use an extra red source. But we're at least milling some lands which are kind of useless later in the game, so that's fine. Well, with another card I don't care about, Rage Hound. Right, Rage Hound could be something, so I'm probably going to keep the Oracle back, hold off the Rage Hound. And then, yeah, I guess if I just want to be mana efficient, I'm just going to cast this Hierophant next turn instead of less Elspeth's Nightmare. And then I'll pass since I do want this to trade. So he could try to enhance the Familiar, he could have the 4-mana removal spell, the Iroh's Blessing, there it is, alright. So, remove Hierophant. Not sure if he should have killed the Hierophant or the Oracle. I think he should have taken out the Oracle since, yeah, he would want this to end up in the graveyard as opposed to getting exiled in both his favor. Alright. So I probably can use Final Death on the 4-3 here. Probably just going to use it now, and Control Rage Hell will get exiled. That's good. Well, I can also set Martrine in Iroh's, but I think just to be safe, we just want to get rid of this immediately so we don't take too much damage. And then we'll see what he tries next turn. And we're already up in terms of cards compared to the opponent. If he runs out any small creature, I'm okay. We can run out Martrine. Maybe an escape card in the graveyard, nope. But we get to mill some lands, which is nice, and also opponent, so. Could also see him cast the Mogus Favor on the Martrine, which I'm also fine with as well, but I guess he needs to exile 2 cards from the graveyard, so. I'm fine just firing off Elspeth next turn if I need to. And even Enlightenment I can deal with. It's a 2-2 in fact. I think I'm going to fire off the Elspeth. Otherwise I won't have a good turn to use it. And then, sure, he gets to escape the Mogus Favor on the Martrine, but then I get to exile it next turn. So, just get rid of this now while we can. Get in. And then keep playing ahead with little possibilities. So yeah, we can probably see him using this whole turn to escape the Mogus' Favor, and then we can exile his graveyard eventually, so we'll see. That's fine. There's no escape cards I can worry too much about, and I can Omen this in the turn as well, so... There's no cards I care about getting back. I guess the 5-drop is nice to get back with the Omen, but it's not that big of a deal. He's probably going to use it on the Mire Triton, and then we can take out the Scavenging Harpy response. Still going to have only one card to escape in the yard, so it's fine. We just want to get rid of Flyer. And then we could hopefully get a look at his final card in his hand. So it's always important to cast this much more earlier, but I got a little bit greedy. I still think it was okay casting it earlier as opposed to, later as opposed to earlier, since I wasn't really afraid of 1-2, and there's a chance I could use this on something better, like an enemy or Scavenging Harpy. And then yeah, if you can't put a card in the yard here, then we can just exile the Mogus's Favor, and we can Iroh's Blessing the Mogus's Favor as well. So this game should be over almost, assuming the opponent doesn't top deck anything too scary. And yeah, this card does nothing other than slashing and maybe gaining a bit of life if you are focusing, if you have a god, so not a card I would necessarily recommend. Ooh, Thrill isn't bad. We can, I guess I'd rather draw the Slaughter Priest first, and then cast Thrill next to dig deeper, as opposed to using it right immediately to get the Slaughter Priest. And then rip Favor. Then I could also use the Iroh's Blessing here, but he's mostly going to sacrifice the Soul Reaper in response. The question is, am I fine with that? I think I'm fine saying go and not using it, since I might want to just attack with Slaughter Priest and then sack the Piper. So I'm just going to pass, save this for something much more scarier, like maybe a Rage Scar Berserker you can end up playing. Yeah, I just don't want to give him more options next turn, so we'll see. No. Face Thrill. Omen of Dead isn't bad. Yeah, we can bring back, like, maybe Hierophant, but I guess I'll be milling myself up by a lot. I can still attack with Slaughter Priest here because he won't be able to block it favorably with the Soul Reaper, since this can gain first strike if I sack at instant speed. I guess he's gonna block and then make me use it, and then he's gonna sack his Soul Reaper. I guess that's okay. Still probably gonna see him use the sack ability, and then if he has a trick, I can just use Omen to get back. Could have an aspect of Manticore, but it's still a trade. I don't think the opponent realizes this gains first strike, and yeah. So yeah, that was the attack I was expecting, so I get to save my Iroh's Blessing, as opposed to using it immediately on the Soul Reaper. And yeah, trading the Scorn Piper for Soul Reaper is worth it, I think. And we can run out Rage Hound here and start getting to town, hopefully. Omen getting back a creature, right? Get back only Soul Reaper, so luckily we exiled his graveyard. I can Omen end of turn. Not sure what I want to bring back. Maybe Incendiary Oracle, since it can pump and do some things. And I don't necessarily want to keep milling myself at 12 cards. Keeps one on top, so probably something important. But maybe a Blessing can answer it, hopefully. Hierophants, I'm fine using maybe Iroh's Blessing with Hierophants. Great Merchant and Blight Breath are also pretty solid cards too. Soul Reaper, that's fine. I think I just get back to 2-drop. And I can also stack the Omen to Slaughter Priest Amogus and gain first strike, so I don't necessarily need to activate the Slaughter Priest just yet. Although he could set up a double block, so maybe it's fine using it now. or keeping this back on defense. I think I'll use it now. Yeah, sure. Then I can attack for 6. Keep back my Oracle. And then I'm fine still taking 2 here. I'm fine with the trade here too, since I'll be able to escape the 4-3. So sometimes you just have to be conservative with your spells and not just fire them immediately when you see a normal creature and save it for later. This trade is nice. And then yeah, I think I'm just gonna use a turn to escape the Rage Hound as opposed to the Oracle just to get some value in case he's sandbagging some ways to punish escape. And then yeah, this can keep coming back unless he has Final Death. I'm happy just constantly attacking, forcing chumps. And then we can even sack this eventually, so... And if he trades, then I'll just again bring it back. Opponent's just buying time. I could also, I guess, next turn I guess I can sacrifice twice to get in for lethal. But not this turn. I mean, I could've, but I think it might be too risky. I would've had no, I guess I wouldn't have enough. I would have to deal 9, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could have a Final Death here. That can be quite problematic too. Final Flare. Can I sack itself? Guess that's okay. Then I guess I'll sack the Omen in a turn, so I'll just run out land. And then I have a pretty decent board presence. This was able to trade for 3 creatures, 2 creatures in fact, so that's quite nice. I was planning to also get the Mythic quickly with Streets of New Capenna for previously in my other videos, but I didn't like the format. It got a little bit too boring, so I just decided to not play it. So that's why I'm at Diamond rank, by the way, folks. I spent some videos trying to record my race to Mythic, but it just didn't felt fun, so... Getting the Mythic with Theros Beyond Death is a lot more fun, I think. Unless you run into Dream Trawler. Or you open up a Dream Trawler. I mean, I guess if you're playing Dream Trawler, you're happy. If you're playing against it, you're not. Or Kiora Best to Sea God. It's just that blue is kind of weak in this format. Unless you pair it up with white, so it makes sense for them to have those bombs like... Again, the Dream Trawler and Kiora Best to Sea God, and I guess the Kraken too, the 3 mana 2/3 that just makes 1/1s, and the turn if you pay 1, and it also grows over time, is a pretty decent card as well. But yeah, I prefer green over blue, I think, unless I open up those 2 bombs, and yeah, this hand seems okay. I mean, it's really solid, some good 2s. Omen in our opening hand is nice, so our deck is stacked with a lot of good early game. Probably lead with the Discord Piper. Just to be mana efficient, not afraid of any flash creatures here. Black-red. So, I guess Omen's fine. I mean, if he Omens by 2/1, I'm quite happy. Since, you know, this could kill Oracle or the other card. The other 2/2, so. Next turn we can double spell. The best feeling is when you actually mill an escape creature with the funeral rites. But you're not always. But having only 2 escape creatures in the deck, it's not an easy target. Charger, kind of annoying. So I might just run out this Oracle here and then just keep up the mana ability. I mean, it's not very tempo oriented because, like, let's say he kills this, then I won't be able to run out the Lampad, but I think it's worth keeping up, so we'll say go. And then we can always run out the Lampad next turn and maybe run out Inevitable or Omen. But I'm happy with blocking here and then exiling this, so block and then pump. Hopefully we don't get punished here. I can't think of anything, and then exiling this is quite relevant too, so happy trading. And then Lampad can block the Piper for days. Alright, we don't have to do anything, just pass. If he tries any tricks, we can Omen here on the Discord Piper. Titanic Giant is a good one. Luckily we have Iroh's Blessing, so when this attacker becomes a target of a spell, choose one, it deals 3 damage to each opponent, or you can draw cards with this. Luckily, this is an ability on the stack, so I can easily just kill this and not have it trigger, so that's fine. And then question is, where do I use the Iroh's Blessing on? I think on the Incendiary or Oracle, since I want this to attack past the Piper, so this isn't going to cost the Tectonic Giant to trigger because, and I think I'm fine swinging for 1 here because it's an ability on the stack and not a spell, so that's a pretty clean answer. Although now I get punished here for attacking. Sure. Hierophant's pretty good, so do I attack again? Probably not this time. I don't want to use it only on the 2-1, so build a final death. So just pass and then maybe start going to town with the Hierophant. And we have the Omen to punish him in case he has a his own Iroh's Blessing. Keeps a card on top. Scobo's Maze Warden we can take out with the Nebula End, assuming he doesn't just keep sacrificing his tokens. Which is fine, so I'm just going to cast the Inevitable End here. And it's a good time to use it here because he already has his Piper out, so might as well just make him use it, and then we still have Thrill of Possibility in the deck, so I think we hold on to land. And then I'm not going to attack the Hierophant because I actually want this to die to the Inevitable End as opposed to trading this off. Cataplepus is annoying. So if I take out the Piper, I guess we want this to resolve first. So if he does this on the stack, we can Omen the Life Breath to blow him out, so this only gives it -1. So it's nice to be conservative again with your removal spells and magic. And then we can attack with Hierophant and then sack the Omen end of turn. And yeah. I could keep this to sack to like Final Flare or something, but that's fine, and then we'll just sack this to our sense. I can still block the Piper, so getting some nice value, and I think I'm okay to trade here on Temple Thief. And then we'll get some scry value, so find some more options. Alright, this is good. I think we keep the Slaughter Priest first. And then we can run out. Hopefully Mar trying to mill a good escape creature, because our deck is getting kind of low. Not mill anything too important. Morris gets nothing, that's fine. He still loses 1 life. So that speeds up the clock for us, and then we can even drain him out with Lampad if we deal enough damage over time. I guess he can exile something in the graveyard too. And yeah, he has exiled 0 escape creatures, so we dodged a bullet there. Otherwise, Mar Triton would have actually milled an escape creature and he could have gotten it, so dodged a pretty good bullet. Could sack the Goat to deal a little bit more damage, but I think we still want to keep the sack fodder around or something. Ooh, that's nice. Speaking of escape creatures, we finally get one. And yeah, we get to exile some lands now. And I think I run out land just to keep up land pad in case he has an exile effect. So this is why you run out. You need to have a land pad in your deck. Prevent exile from happening, and yeah, one realizes it's just game over, so. Alright, 5 and 2, not bad. Our deck doesn't have any, like, bombs, really. Just some good rares, like Euphemia, which we saw in, like, 2 of our games. Some good uncommons, like Mar Triton, Elspeth's Nightmare. And yeah, just overall some good commons, too. So it's not really that impressive of a deck, really. But we're still managing to get above average wins, which is nice. And always something that you want to keep up in Premier Draft, since even if you draft your best sometimes, it's not easy always getting to 7. So the whole point is to get an above average win rate and not win every single game you come across, because that's literally impossible. Alright, 2 drop into Elspeth's Nightmare. Probably just run out the Mar Triton first, or if he's playing green, I might want to run out Lampad instead. But again, this applies a decent amount of pressure, so run out the Mar Triton. Build some land, so that's good. Dusty Spinner's a good target for a Nightmare, and yeah, this time we cast it early. This is a pretty good uncommon for green. However, I don't see myself never really used this ability and made a really large land, unfortunately. But it does trigger Constellation, and then it's also a bane to the blue decks, given that the creatures can't be countered. Luckily, we don't have any non-creature spells, so hopefully we don't draw any for the Elspeth's next turn. We don't, so that's good. So we could then knock out a non-creature spell with a Mystic Repeal, and then probably just double spell here. Opponent gets to take nothing from us. And then I should maybe not run out the Underworld, since if I trade it off, he just ends up exiling it. So I might have to sack this next turn, as opposed to... Or no, I guess I don't want to sack it, because if I do, he just... Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have... Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Right, so Lyra's Blessing, so that's good. So where do I want Iroh's Blessing? Probably on the Underworld. He has a Band Brawler coming on turn 6. I guess he can run out the Nylia's Huntmaster next turn, which can block both. But it makes it more likely he trades on the Underworld Ragehound, so... And this is also just a sack outlet, so I think I'm fine with this. And the Typhon. And then attack with both. And then he doesn't get to exile my Ragehound. He doesn't eat up a bunch of my fuel for escape, but that's fine. I get a better advantage, even though I don't get to get rid of this Typhon. So could see the Underworld Ragehound trading, which I'm fine with. And the opponent misses land drop, so it's going to take a while before he can run out the Band Brawler. And then we can also just run out the Underworld Rage Charger next turn too. And that's also a difficult creature to deal with, so... I just need more ways to feel escape, essentially. And this can't block, so I can attack for 4 next turn as well. The black-green escape deck is really fun, but it's just not as good as black-red, unfortunately. The sacrifice synergies are just more potent over just escaping a bunch of creatures. is decent, but I'm just gonna attack with both. Run out Soul Reaper, keep up Omen. Probably just take 3 since I don't want to block this. And then we can swing back for a lot more. So this card can be incredibly bad in the wrong deck. I really only like this in an aggressive deck like Black-Red where you're looking to curve out, but in a deck that's looking to grind and be a little bit more defensive like Black-Green, it's just worse than Chimera. And then we can sacrifice the Rage Hound, the Underworld Charger for value here. And get some Life Drain going. Elysian carried it. I think I gotta omen that, because if I don't, then he gets to run out a Band Brawler next turn if he gets a land drop, so I'm just gonna take this out with Omen next turn. And then we can even sack this next turn and then escape the Underworld Charger the next turn. Seems like a good exchange. Or run out Piper. Running out Piper isn't a bad idea as well. And that is lethals, although yeah, it is lethal, so I think we just run this out. And then we can even drain with the Lampad here. Heartbeat deals with one of my escape creatures. So probably see him take out the Rage Hound, I have to imagine. I mean the Underworld Charger. This is still Exile 3. They're both Exile 3, so yeah, you don't want to run against a 5/5. You rather have a 4/2 that you can. Yep, so that's a good call. Position's pretty good on this against this board state, so we're not out of the woodworks yet. Take 3. So we could just spend the whole, we could just drain him out as our game plan, which isn't a bad idea, or just Piper and then draw some cards. If I attack with the Soul Reaper, it does trade for both, so I guess I might as well attack with the Soul Reaper and offer the trades. If I attack with the Piper, he could just, I guess he's just gonna, I guess I can attack with both, and then if he blocks with the Grim Physician and tries to kill my Piper, then I can sack it in response and draw a card, or drain. Oh, I guess he's trying to take out my Soul Reaper, so I could sack the Discordant Piper before damage happens, so I can take out this Scavenging Harpy. So do I want to drain or draw? I think we want to draw cards. Like, I would love to drain, but drawing cards is much better in the long run, so this is fine. And then could sack this end of turn. Yeah, I guess we'll just say go, sack the go end of turn, draw a card, hopefully draw into something more. He doesn't get to Van Brawler quickly, and I can still chump and sack here, so that's fine. I mean, if I could have drained him out, but yeah, just keep drawing. Maybe draining is the right call. Go to Rebels isn't bad. I can now block the 3/3. Then yeah, I could just drain him out now, so we'll say go, and then maybe sack the 1/1 end of turn. Or just draw more cards. So that's interesting. What I realize is I'm just going to outvalue him. I still have 20 cards left in the library, so there could have been some very interesting cards I could have drawn. So yeah, 6 and 2. Not bad. Just one more win and we can get up to 7. And that can be quite awesome. And maybe fire off another Theros Beyond Death draft. I wish they gave us some Theros lore as opposed to Capenna with all the sets going on. Alright, seems okay. Hopefully we get more creatures, but it's fine. on the play with Oracle onto some removal spells to back up the Oracle. Black, so hopefully no Elspeth's Nightmare on turn 2. Yeah, I don't really want to mill your opponent in this set. I think I just Omen here. Just to use up some removal spells and then get in for 2 at least. Hopefully so. Hopefully no Elspeth's Nightmare, otherwise that will mess with my Fateful End and Blessing. And I don't have any creatures to follow up really, so Feudal Rights is fine. Some land, so that's pretty good for the opponent, and then I think I just pump twice here as opposed to scrying. I don't think I need to keep up Fateful and then instant speed. Opponent's already down to 12 life, so that's good. And yeah, I just don't like blue as much because again, there's really no good escape creatures or cards at common. There's the uncommon, the alright, so I think we Fateful End just because I want to develop it more. Even though I can send this in the opponent's face. This allows me to be more mana efficient, and then the Iroh's Blessing can still deal with something with more toughness. Like a Witness of Tomorrows as opposed to Fateful End, which can't deal with it, so. Yeah, even if he escapes an Underworld Charger, it's not really what he wants. And I need to take out this Ephemia next turn as well, so. That will end. Probably need to sacrifice the Oracle. Right, rip Oracle. And then probably just need to take out the Flyer before it becomes a problem. And then we can still attack for 3 and he doesn't have a good block, so. This is less mana efficient, but then I can attack for 3. That's the reason why I decided to use Blessing as opposed to Final Death. Yeah, Ephemia can be pretty scary in a deck full of enchantments. Right, my Oracle, which was doing a good job. And then hopefully I can draw into something good here. Discards Witness of Tomorrow. Okay, that's a pretty interesting decision. And I drew a Nightmare, which is great, so now I can exile his graveyard, although he could escape his Charger next turn. Which is kind of annoying. Ashiok, right, that's a bomb. Not sure I'm gonna get to Ashiok. I can only exile creatures as well. So it's not gonna be easy. That's also one of the big bombs in blue decks, so I could just end up losing this. So opponent also has a Nightmare. Drag to the Underworld's also pretty annoying. Both of these are pretty annoying in and of itself. Nightmare can take out my Final Death, so I think I get rid of Nightmare as opposed to Drag, and I think I just discard the land here and hope I get something good. Luckily this won't get exiled, so I'll just do this. And then I probably don't want to block the 2-3. So he could just take this out, sure. So he's just going to make more 2-3s here, and I'm probably just going to end up losing the game to Ashiok. Luckily I can exile the Underworld Charger.
Awaken.
Can run out land now, maybe sacrifice Omen in a turn. And then what's the ultimate? Well, so that's pretty busted. So he can cast all this stuff I own from exile without paying the mana cost. So let's just see him ultimate, and yeah, maybe he can just win the game from there. So not often do I come across Ashiok, but yeah, this is a game where I do, and I'm fine losing to this since it's pretty fun final boss to be playing against. So I'm probably just gonna not block here, and then exile his final card, I mean the creature that he makes from Ashiok, and then pressure Ashiok, so we'll see. Doesn't use the ultimate, so...
Terror lurks among us.
I mean, we're gonna lose anyways, even if I cast this Final Death, so I need a good creature to follow up this. So only if there's exiled planeswalkers. He might even have something at instant speed here too, so... Final Flare, not gonna do much. Yeah, this only deals with creatures as well, and we don't have anything to sack, so unfortunately I would have to say no to that. Would have been nice with the movement. Alright, we have an Underworld Charger, so... Yeah, I guess we just exile this and attack Ashiok and... say GG's. Right, even has Starlight Mantle. Right. I think we, we'll just attack face. Good games. Can you just use your ultimate, opponent? At least cast your ultimate before you kill me. I want to see the animations. Aww. Yep, he doesn't cast the ultimate. That's too bad. I want to really see the animation, but it's okay. We had a pretty good run, and that was a pretty exciting final match, so... I can't wait to do another draft. And yeah, went 6-3, so... okay deck, with a pretty okay first pick. Read that red-black was open and took advantage of that. So overall, just a solid, decent deck. Could have gotten to 7, but it's definitely not going to beat any bombs like Ashiok or any blue bombs, just to be more... any of the blue bombs, just to be a little bit more, what's that term? I keep forgetting. Anyways, we're just going to fire off another one. Yeah, Ashiok, Green Trawler, Kiora, those are the best 3 bomb rares or mythics in the set, and they're all in blue, so no reason to really jump into blue commons unless you pick up one of those. So let's see, pack 1, pick 1, another Theros Beyond Death draft. Perforos Intervention's a pretty good rare. It's not all that amazing. It's just a solid removal spell, but it's very flexible and deals a lot of damage. So even if you do like X equals 1, you can still deal 2 damage to any target creature, which is nice. And then I never really did the first ability where I made a giant trample creature, but this could be a nice way to just end the game and catch the opponent off guard. So yeah, it could be a nice first pick rare, and red is a good color. Alternatively, there's like Chain Web of Arachnir, which is a good escape creature if you end up in black-green escape, and Voracious Typhon. There's also Helios Pilgrim, also a nice common, can help you find your auras. So a nice 2-for-1. And then the body is quite relevant to sacrifice later, or, you know, hold off any 1 toughness creatures, or trade for them. So, yeah, fine. I think these 3 cards are like the other best, but I'll just take a good removal spell. Intervention is good, and red is a good color. So, we'll take an intervention here. Any good red cards here? There's like War Leader, which is fine. Chimera could be a reason to end up in a white devotion deck, or I guess Blight Breath Catoblepis could be a way to end up in a black devotion deck. So these are like the only 3 cards I'm kind of looking at. And yeah, since I'm more biased towards black, I guess we might as well just consider the Blight Breath Catoblepis. Since black is the best color, and this gets rid of a creature. So, yeah, this is a good card. Chimera is also fine too. If you can cheat this out early with a bunch of white devotion creatures, is nice too. And then the rest of the commons we can always again pick up later in the respective archetypes. So, I'm down to maybe take this Catoblepis to see if we have a black-red again or something. And this pack is also pretty decent. There's a Sunmane Pegasus, Mogus Favor, Underworld Ragehound, and then Funeral Rites is also okay. So we're looking at these 3 cards here. Not sure which one I want. Might just take Mogus' Favor. I think this card is quite good. It keeps us in black, and it's a nice way to punish 1 toughness. There's a good amount of 1 toughness creatures in this set, and the fact that you can escape this is also nice. So, could be down to just take the Mogus' Favor. Maybe hopefully get an Underworld Ragehound later. And this is just a nice aura to have in certain matchups. Pegasus is also quite good. Red-white, black-white are also good decks in the format. So there's an argument for this, but I think I just want to stay on color. Let's just take the Mogus' Favor. and see what else we get here. Story ban. Storyteller is also quite decent too. If you have some good enchantments to get back, or enchantment creatures, there's also Thirst for Meaning, Scoville Spore Leader. So, some okay cards as well. Might just take the Scoville War Leader here. I know that it's kind of committal to black-red, but honestly, like, all these cards are just fine. Storyteller getting some life and also getting enchantment on top is okay, but it's just an okay card. The fact that it denies a draw step is kind of underwhelming at times, and you kind of have to be in a really focused deck. Seems some white can pass to me though, so it could be a sign that white is open, like we got past Daybreak Chimera into Sunmane Pegasus and now Lagona. But I'm still just going to take the War Leader here, just stay on color, and it's just a good 5-drop. Maybe we can force black-red, and then not much else here. This pack is just unexciting. Could take a Wrapped in Flames if we end up red-white. There's also Rage-Scar Berserker, which is just a really big, beefy creature. It's not too different from War Leader, but it does hit really hard when it comes down. But if black gets cut off, we probably want maybe Wrapped in Flames. I think this is a pretty key card if we end up red-white, since white looks open. Hero to Winds is one of those heroic payoffs too, but it's not all that exciting. It's kind of expensive for 4 mana, and you rather just have the 2-drop that you can use to pump the whole team. So I'm just going to take Wrapped in Flames here, which is a card you can end up wheeling, but if we end up red-white, I think I really need it, so I'll take Wrapped. And this pack is also just not all that exciting. Blood Aspirant's not all that great, but it could be okay. If you end up in a heavily focused sacrifice deck, this can grow over time. And then the ability to also punish 1 toughness can be nice too. It can sacrifice enchantments. So I'm down to take Blood Aspirant. There's also Final Flare too, which we can hope to get later, but I don't want more than 1. Some okay cards. Let's take Blood Aspirant. Could be signed that black-red is open again. So there's this pack, which has Loathsome Chimera, which is a good card, but not seeing a ton of green. Maybe we just take Piper or Funeral Rites. Not really set up again for an enchantment-based deck with Lagona. There's also a sign maybe red-green is open with the Warden, but it's a card I can get later. But we still see some okay black cards. This is a good card, but not sure if I want to move into red-green for it. I think I'm just going to take Piper and just increase our 2-drop department, and then it's also just a good creature to stack to Blood Aspirant and War Leader. And then, who knows, maybe Cling to Dust could be okay. It's just a fine playable. Worst case scenario, you gain 3 life. And this is a way to hate on the escape card, so could see myself main decking this. Nothing else I care too much about. And then, yeah, nothing much. Tactics is interesting. Not a big fan of Minions Return. Just take a random Phalanx Tactics. Take a random Temple Thief, kind of late. Okay, 2-drop. So maybe black-red is open again. But we're seeing some late white cards too, but again, they're not really exciting white cards. They're not like Dreadful Apathy or Heliod's Pilgrims or anything. They're all just kind of medium whatever type of cards. Ooh, Rage-Scar Berserker, pick 13, interesting. Aspect is also an okay card, but I don't like it that much given that there's Escape in this format, so it's not always all that impressive making of this card too. Well, I mean, first Our Own game is a great card. This is also just a bomb. You make a 4/4 on turn 2, or pump up a creature, and then you get to draw 2 cards, so this is nice. Commanding Presence is also okay. White is most likely maybe the 3rd color we end up playing, but it's still worse than first Our Own games. No amazing black or red cards here, like Favor, Thief, War Leader we can pick up later, but seeing some good green cards like Warbriar's Blessing or Acolyte. I don't know, maybe we can find a way to splash first Our Own games if we end up in Rakdos, or just pivot into black-green Escape if we have to, but this card's great, so I don't think anything else in this pack really can match up with this, so I'll take a first Our Own games. And then here, it's between, like, I guess, Destiny Spinner and Lampad. Metamized Prophecy is just a worse omen of the sea. There's also a good red-white card with Hero Nyxborn. Destiny is pretty good, but I feel like I'm more committed to black than I am green. So I'm not sure here. I could just pivot off course and move into green here. But it feels like we're more set up to be like black-red escape for the most part, since we didn't see a ton of amazing green in the previous pack. Good card, good blocker. This is at its best in like white-green or blue-green, so it's not necessarily great in black-green or red-green, but still an anti kind of blue card. But I still think I'm supposed to take a Lampad here. Alright, let's take a Lampad. And then now we're not seeing any good green cards. This card could be okay. And then seeing all these band tellers is really interesting. Dawn Evangel, also not an amazing card. Kind of one of those aura payoffs, but for only cheap auras, and even then it only brings back cheap creatures. So I guess it's time for us to take our first escape creature with Underworld Charger and take it from there. Inevitable End, nice pick 4. I think I take it over Omen of the Forge, although they're both kind of close. This is again worse against tokens, but it can deal. But it kind of forces the opponent to eventually sacrifice their scariest threat. And then Omen of the Forge, pretty good against early drops, but only can deal with 2 toughness. So I'm banking I can maybe get an Omen later. I think we just grab an Inevitable End. And then yeah, see, I guess black-red seems open, so maybe rip for Siren Games. We'll see if I pick up any Traveler's Amulets to try to splash for this, because this is a pretty good card. Pretty late Voracious Typhon. Warden of Chain 2 is solid. I think we just take Final Flare finally. And yeah, I don't think we can pivot into green. Like, Typhon's good, but I still feel like we're just in black-red at the end of the day. And we'll take a Hierophant over Favor, over Physician. Seeing some good white cards too. Sunmane Pegasus. It's probably just better than Lagona, honestly. But this is like the only second one I've seen, and we only saw one in like only one in the previous pack. So I think a Hierophant could help us with our escape. Then yeah, not much else here. This could be okay. It's kind of medium. It's a fine blocker. We have some. It's best in red-green. I don't know, I guess I just take Oriad or just take Lagona, why not? I don't really care about any of these cards, they're just all really medium. And in case I need a random 4-drop, Cyclops. Huntmaster is a fine aggressive card. I don't know, I think we just go off with red and black here. I don't see myself moving to green anytime soon. We're not seeing like any Warbriar's Blessings or Loathsome Chimeras. Only saw one, whatchamacallit. Only saw one Voracious Typhon, and then the Warbriar's Blessing was in our pack 1. So highly doubt we're gonna end up in green. I do like maybe second Piper. I also don't mind Wings of Hubris. We might pick up a second Piper later. The wings can actually give us some evasion, which could be sometimes a problem for these decks to close out with. So I'm down for wings, but at the same time I don't mind second Discord. Yeah, I think we might want the second Discord, and it's just good in black-red overall. So as much as I like having a flyer, the Nyxborn Marauder isn't bad with the Blight Breath, so I might consider main decking that, so we'll see. Yeah. Overall, it seems like we're just in a draft full of people that know what's up in this set. White does, again, look open, but, again, they're not like amazing white commons. Just taking Elspeth's Nightmare, this card's, again, one of the best uncommons in the set, kind of like a mythic uncommon. Tier status over Omen of the Forge, which I'm hoping I can get to, but Elspeth's Nightmare is just too good. Especially if we can curve out with it. And then there's this pack, which is also okay. Dreamstalker Manticore, how many flash spells do we have? Not a ton. 4 mana, 3 mana 4/2 is okay too, does trade down most of the time. We don't have that many instant speeds, so I highly doubt we can punish people with it. So I might actually just take this Scovos Maze Warden, it's a good blocker. It's okay though, kind of understat. 3 mana, 4 mana 3/4 is fine, and then the fact that I can pump itself later if you can clear a path could be quite nice. I just don't think this is a good deck for Dreamstalker Manticore. Solid 3-drop I can curve out with, but it does trade down, and I'd rather just have Maze Warden. There's also Portent of Betrayal. We don't have that many sack outlets. I mean, we have some, but I still think we take the creature first, and we got punished since there's a second Maze Warden. don't know, I don't think I need a second one, but I guess I'll take it since I'm kind of committed. Over second Moog's favor, or maybe I just take the second one, not sure. Could maybe, oh, I guess I could have considered some mana fixing. Right, there's a Mogus, Soul Reaper, I think I'd take it over Omen of the Dead. Omen's fine, but we don't have any like bombs we're interested in really getting back. And we kind of need a Soul Reaper with these Discord Pipers, so I'm kind of down to just take this over Omen of the Dead. Not sure if I'll play the first Iron games, but I should have kept in mind I should have considered some mana fixing. Not sure if I want to play Altar to Pantheon just for first Iron games. But overall, I guess I'll take a second War Leader as a good curve topper. I might just play this Marauder just to improve our Blight Breath Cataplepus. It's not all that exciting, but it is another 4-drop we could use. Overall, deck seems okay. There's probably people fighting against our black-red deck as well, so we're probably just going to end up with another medium deck at the end of the day. It's pretty late apathy, finally seeing it over. Not much else, but I guess we're just a little bit too late to take up the apathy at this point, so I'll take a Stampede Rider, which is a fine playable too, nothing exciting. So I think most of our game plan is just going to involve just curving out and just rushing down the opponent as quickly as possible. And then I'll probably just take a Wings of Hubris over Aspect over Oriad here. Again, that evasion is important, especially in an aggressive deck that could get blocked by a bunch of ground creatures easily. Might actually main deck this Cling the Dust as well, but overall this deck is pretty medium. Yeah, it's kind of medium. Ooh, I guess Temple of Abandon is nice. Alright, so I might just run this first Iron games just for Temple, and then hope we don't mill our green sources, so I'm down to try out this red-green land here. Not seeing much, so not sure. Maybe we should have been in green in this draft, but honestly, we also just didn't see any amazing green cards. The draft was just really rough, honestly. I think the table knows what's up, and we're just in a pod full of good players, so it happens. So we probably need a little bit more 2-drops in this deck. We have some good amount of 3s already, so I'm kind of liking a Temple Thief on 2. Maybe do I play a second copy? Stampede Rider is also okay. We have some okay like 4-powered creatures, not a whole ton. And our 3s are kind of clunky, so probably don't need it. We also just don't have any like ways to prevent floods, so I'm kind of down to just take this Oriad of Mountain's Blaze, even though it's not all that amazing of a card. It's just okay. And then what else do I want in this deck? Could toss in like a Nyxborn Marauder or Temple Thief. This can't block, but it does have reach, and it's easy to cast. And who knows, the extra toughness could be better than Nyxborn Marauder. We're also looking to be quite, even though this does improve Cataplepus, playing this just for Cataplepus doesn't seem all that exciting. So I might prefer a Flummox Cyclops on 4 as opposed to Nyxborn Marauder. And I guess we can just throw in a Cling to Dust. How many creatures we have? 14. So if we throw in the Flummox, we should have 15. Looking at our curve, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 2-drops. And then 1, 2, 3. We have some okay 3s. So I'm not sure if I need more extra 2-drops here. Yeah, I don't really want too many Temple Thieves. Maybe Flummox Cyclops on 4 is better. And then probably just take a Cling to Dust instead of second Mogus' favorite, just to have a way to deal with opposing escape creatures and some payoff for escaping, so maybe something like this could be fine. And then I'm down to just run double Forest because there's a chance we mill the Hierophants. And then I guess we only have 1 green spell. But yeah, but this makes it more consistent that we get first Iron games. I definitely want 8 black sources here, and then I guess we'll be running 7 red sources, which is also okay. Yeah, we'll try this deck out. I think it's fine. could cut this Underworld Charger for Stampede Rider, even just given that this blocks. But this might just be a better card overall in the late game, so... I mean, it could be fine blocking too. The fact is, there's a chance the opponent's side has a power 4 or greater. And this can become a 3-4. But the fact that this can keep escaping is nice, so... I don't know, we'll try this, see how it goes. Alright. This is probably worse than the previous one, but we'll give it a spin. Can't always be lucky. And it's the result of, again, drafting in a table full of people who knows what's going on, so... Just fine trading Piper for the Underworld Rage Hound. I could also run out Aspirin, but then it's going to take me a turn forward for me to sack and deal with this. So, yeah, I'm fine running this out and trading. I could also argue running this out and trading instead. So there's also an argument for that. But this lines up nicely. Right, and yeah, I'd rather have this die, so alright, rip Piper. Probably just take 3 here, and then I'm not sure what I want to do next turn. If I get a 4th land, then I'm fine running out Underworld Charger. Otherwise, I think I just run out the Aspirant here, and then we might just sack the token to deal with the Underworld Rage Hound next turn too. And then we can use this for something larger or something later. Not sure. I think I'll run out the Aspirants. And we'll say go. Take 3, maybe sack this to deal with this. And then hopefully we get a land to deploy a 2-drop or intervention for 2 or 1. There's also another play I can do. I guess we don't want to activate this immediately next turn. We might want to wait. It says the training is fine. Since there's a chance we can always just chump block creature and then use a Aspirin to finish this off. But if not, I guess we're fine just doing it now. We can also have a pump spell, so I probably want to use this on upkeep instead. And then, do I run out Lampad? Lampad's fine, but let's say he has a pump spell, then I probably want to use intervention in response. But I think it's okay. Or maybe I should use it now, because there's a chance he has a 2-mana pump spell. Yeah, maybe I should just use it now. Not to risk too many, and hopefully I don't have to infuriate to blow me out. so that's nice. Warden, so we can kill Warden for how much? X equals 2, right? So yeah, if I do X equals 2, I guess I won't have anything to follow up, so I might as well just do X equals 3 just to be safe. Although he didn't have a pump spell last turn, but he could draw into one. I don't know, let's just do X equals 3. Just to be safe, and then we still keep up 1 mana with that. Yeah, I just don't want to take 4 from this next turn because he can just follow up with another creature. Chimera, so now I can punish the Chimera, so I can run out. So what I can do now is I can run out Underworld Charger, sack it to the Aspirants, take out the Chimera, and attack for 1, so not bad. So Aspirant doing some good work against a lot of this 1 toughness stuff going on. And he can escape, but then that's fine. Another lonesome Chimera, right? Doesn't seem to end. I could just sack it to sack the lamp pad and take this out. That could be okay as well. Since I don't want to do anything else and I don't want to take 4, so yeah, let's just do it then. Lamp pad can go. Then run out to Cyclops. He might just escape a bunch of creatures, but then I can make one of our creatures indestructible and attack back. I think that's fine, so if I run out Soul Reaper, I can't double spell, so I think it's fine to just attack this turn. Just run out the Berserker, pump the Aspirant, make it indestructible, and then attack for 9, forcing maybe a trade. I'm fine with this trade. It's gonna take him a while before he can get back his escape creature, so this is fine. And we have a bit of tempo advantage here, so unless the opponent finds a removal spell, we should be attacking quite nicely in a couple of turns, so that's good. Show concern maybe running Soul Reaper first in case he has something, but I guess he does. If he does, he would respond at instant speed anyways to deal with my creature, so not a bad game. Aspirant isn't all that amazing of an uncommon, keep in mind, but if you play him exclusively in a deck full of tokens, you can sacrifice, or against an opponent with a lot of 1 toughness, it's pretty solid, so pretty decent in red-white, and I say black-red, but overall it's just a fine card. Sometimes in other matchups it's kind of useless, but in that matchup we luckily had it on early and it didn't get answered, so we were able to punish the opponent's Chimeras. What I've noticed in my drafts too is I barely seen any Mire's Grasp being passed to us. The previous draft we had a chance to pick up 1, but there was also Heat to Extinction and we needed a 5-drop. This hand's not all that exciting, but as a Piper we can run out wings, maybe cling something, I don't know, I think we try it. Can always just cycle this again to exile something we don't care about. Would love some red mana next turn as well. If not, I'll just run out the wings. Probably see a removal spell maybe. But this trade is quite nice. Soul Reaper. Red mana is good, so I could intervention for 2 here. Probably just run out the Blood Aspirant. Like, I could take this out, but if he wants to spend his whole turn sacrificing, that's okay, and this could, again, answer something more important, so just run out the Aspirant and save. This might come in handy, too. Also, against Black-Red, there's bound to be some escape creatures, so I don't want to just cycle this immediately. Locust Priest is pretty good. The fact that it can gain first strike is kind of annoying. If I use it now, he doesn't get to draw a card. But I'm fine if this attacks me for 2 next turn. I think I'm just going to round the Hierophant and be a little bit more greedy here. Save this for against something else. Build some good playables as well. I mean, I'm fine milling these two, but the Rage Scar could have been nice on turn 5. We'll just say go. And then... get Thrill, right? Might start using Wings to attack and fly over. I guess this can pump itself into 4 power next turn. I could always put the 2-1 in front just to force him to sack a creature or an enchantment. So he could have an Iroa's Blessing, I feel like. Yeah, he probably has a Blessing for the Hierophant, if I have to imagine. That could be kind of awkward. Entrancing Lyre, okay. So not quite a, Iroa's Blessing. Could attack for 3. I could also Wings of Hubris. So that's interesting. Wings of Hubris on maybe the Scorn Piper, attack with both. You could sack this and trade for another creature. Which I don't mind trading the 3-3 for the 3-2, so I think I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. Let's see if he uses it on the Piper here. So I can still X = 1 on the Slaughter Priest here. Although I'm moving to combat, so... I guess he won't be able to do anything, so we'll attack for 3. He's probably going to take it here. I highly doubt he wants to do anything, and then probably just X = 1 on the Slaughter Priest of Mogus. Since it's, since if he can untap and do Soul Reaper is kind of annoying, so this is fine. Then yeah, we'll say go. Let's see if he wants to untap the Entrancing Lyre. Alright, untaps it. Take 4. Probably see the opponent use the Lyre on the 3-3. Oracle, though, is pretty good. So now I might want to keep my creatures back and play defense until I draw into something better, since there's nothing good. So let's move to combat and see what he tries. Alright, taps down my Hierophant. So I probably just want to stay back and not attack. So go. And do I mind trading for Temple Thief? I don't mind trading for this. Although I do want a creature that can handle the Incendiary Oracle well, as well, but maybe I can sacrifice the 1/1 token to Blood Aspirant and trade for the Oracle. Right, I'm kind of liking this attack. So probably gonna block here, and then take 4. It does exile, I forgot about that, but it still deals with the fact that this can pump itself, so it's kind of like, do I kill it now, or do I don't? Do I have it, like, deal a bunch of damage to me later? So, alright, War Leader is nice. Could see it tap it down in this turn. No Thrill of possibility, so fine running out land, and then we'll say go. Don't think I'm going to equip the wings on anything. And then we can even cycle this end of turn to maybe exile the Traveler's Amulet. We'll see. Yeah, I might cycle the Cling. I just want to draw cards, so I'm not really... If I keep drawing lands, it's a bad sign. I guess I could have pumped in response. Huh. I think I might have done a misplay there. Right, I guess we'll just take 4 then. And then I think I'm just going to cycle this Cling, because I need some cards. So, yeah, let's just exile Traveler's Amulet. Ooh, Iron Games is nice, although I don't have any green mana. So that's interesting. Catoblepas is nice, I can take out the Soul Reaper. Right, so we're getting somewhere. And then I think I just jam. Am I fine with a trade? I might just trade as well, we'll see. Or just take 2. Well, 2 damage does add up, but I might want to keep creatures around because he might have this Lyre that's going to keep tapping things. Opponent gets aggressive, so I do have 5 cards in the graveyard. I guess if I trade here, I'll have 5 cards to exile. So, and I'm at 8 life, so I think I'm at a pretty low life total come from trading. So last turn he could have done X equals 5. I guess I could have pumped this into, I guess, 6 to negate the Entrancing Lyre, so I messed that one up. Storm's Wrath deals 4 damage to each creature, so if I pump this, nah, it doesn't save it so really. That's a nice 3-for-1 from the opponent. So hopefully he doesn't follow up with anything good, and that's an Oracle, which is kind of scary, so... Right, I guess I'll just have to draw a card with this. And... exile some stuff. I just need to draw into some goodies. Nightmares are quite a nice top deck, so... So he tops the Lyre. And yeah, I guess he doesn't have much. Let's take a look at his hand. Ooh, Maya's Grasp, that's a nice pickup, so... We can Orion now, and now we can also start drawing cards by discarding lands. And then, Sigo, don't think I need to equip or do anything here. And then this can fuel our Cling to Dust as well. Just need our green mana for first Iron Games. And then, yeah, maybe the opponent's flooding here, so that's good. Yeah, he's probably just gonna untap. I could stack the Aurea, but then I'm losing a card for nothing, so he's probably just gonna spend his whole turn taking out my War Leader with the Entrancing Lyre. So maybe the misplay was not pumping my Skovos in response to this Lyre. Yeah. That's gonna get tapped. Maze Warden, alright. That's pretty good. But luckily I get to Inevitable end it. I could also run out my War Leader, but then he can tap down this War Leader, and that's gonna be kind of annoying, so I think this is okay. And then... why not? I guess we might as well Cling the Dust. Keep up Cling the Dust just in case, so that's fine. I can always exile one of my own cards to draw a card. Which isn't a bad idea either. But I have a couple of escape creatures I need to maybe deal with, so... we'll see. So maybe I'm not going to use Cling to Dust. Like, I can dig deeper, but I do have a plan turned out already. And then we don't need second green source. This is good. There's no reason for him to untap this and use it since I have another War Leader, so... Hopefully no Kior Best of Sea God out of nowhere, because he's splashing blue and that can be kind of scary. He could also be Ashiok, of course. But we can deal with Ashiok. Call some favor on the Oriad just to make it a stronger, which I probably think I am going to do. I do want to just kind of end this game. And then, do I run out my own games? I guess I might as well. Well, I guess to see what we're splashing for. Hopefully no second sweeper. I can't think of any second sweepers here. Like, the only thing I can imagine is Kior Best of Sea God. And even if he untaps this and locks down my War Leader, then I guess I'm still attacking for 6 next turn, so he needs to deal with the War Leader and the 1/1 or Oriad, since I can just put 3/1 counters on the creature here. So. Alright, so no double blue, so no bomb rare I need to be scared about. I might just cycle this end of turn, exiling one of my own cards just to draw into an extra one. Right, got him. So opponent just seems to be flooding hard in the near the end, so. Got Mastery Orb. I don't really care about this Mastery stuff, but let's see if it updated. I never really buy the Battle Pass because I think they're just money grabs. But yeah, we get to get a nice emblem and we're almost done with the new kind of Mastery. And they're not like NFTs or anything where you can own and keep in the blockchain. So that's another controversial topic for in the future, but I do believe people should have true ownership of digital assets that are transferable. But yeah, Blood Aspirants seems okay. Seems pretty medium, but I'll keep. Might just run Lampad out first, not sure. This plays, running out Blood Aspirant plays around other things. I think I just run an Aspirant first, I guess, because we might want to set up a turn where we might want to use this, but the problem is, just run this out. I was thinking of maybe running Lampad, but either way I can't play around Mars Grasp here. Queen doesn't have the 1 mana Mogus favor too. I could also use Inevitable End on the Femia too, right? Hellspace Nightmare was pretty rude, so that sucks. So he's most likely going to get rid of my Inevitable End, so I might as well just run it out and lose my final flare. It feels bad, but I think I gotta do this. And then there goes my final flare. So Hellspace Nightmare is already just a powerful 2-for-1 card's excellent. Timrat also messes with my graveyard. This card's also just a great uncommon. Not at the same level of Hellspace Nightmare, but pretty good. And then yeah, he gets to exile some graveyard stuff, and then gain some life as well. So against escape decks, this is quite good. Ooh, Erebos. Erebos is okay though. If he does manage to get to his loyalty with this, I maybe not Loyalty Devotion, then this could be a huge problem. So yeah, I gotta be careful of this. This is at its best against in a black-red deck, but outside black-red it's okay. Because this cares about sacrificing. Either way, we're just gonna attack with the Warly Maze Warden and see what's up. We'll just double spell here and get our creatures going. And then not show him the Mountain Maze, he knows about our swamp, so. Yeah, if he's spending his whole turns missing colors, then we can punish him by being aggressive. Like almost to 5 devotion, so we need to find maybe some answers to take out some of these creatures. We don't have any final deaths in the deck, so we need a way to deal with Timorets. Moga's Favor isn't bad, so I might just want to attack people. I probably don't want to use Moga's Favor here. In main phase, I probably just want to attack with the War Leader Charger and see if he blocks the Charger. And he does, so how much can I pump this by and not get punished? Yeah, these are all 2-mana activate abilities, so I guess I can pump this 3 times. To do a ton of damage. And then, yep, deal 6. Finish off Timorets. And then this lowers his devotion. And then does get to draw a card though, so we're not out of the woodworks yet. Still missing the second color, I think. So we'll take 3. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have any scary follow-ups. Nope. So yeah, he's really missing out on mana, so yeah, I guess we just attack. He could have a final death, but I can always stack in response, so might as well pump. Can't think of anything black at instant speed that punishes toughness here, so if he has final death, then I can stack to the land pad. That's what I'm gonna do, so. So getting close as I go. Finally gets his green mana, so we'll see what he runs out. Omen of the Hunts, getting land perhaps. So I guess this could be a 3-color deck. Wouldn't necessarily go 3 colors if you're running Erebos. So I don't know what's up. This might just cost him the game here. Yeah, this just did absolutely nothing but draw him a card and made him lose 2 life, so. I would recommend not going 3 colors if you're trying to do the whole black devotion thing. And then yeah, we're also flooding and drawing lands, but luckily, yeah, the opponent doesn't have much. So yeah, I guess we just sack Underworld Charger end of turn. Oh, I guess he can stack and minus. Alright, I guess he can shrink it down. So that's fine. I get to deal 3 to him. And then if I sacrifice the Underworld Charger, does that accomplish anything? Not really. If I sacrifice a land pad, nah, that doesn't really do anything. Just say go. So opponent gets a turn to breathe, of course, but he's still at 3 life, so if I top deck another creature and I'm able to activate land pad, it's just game over. Trophy isn't going to do anything unless he can Constellation and gain some life. This card is quite good, but the only problem is that blue-green sucks. And this is a kind of a card you kind of want in a white-green deck, and there's just, again, not too many basic payoffs for blue-green. But yeah, it's probably just game over here. He can chump the 2/2 fall to 1, but then he's just dead on the way back, so the 5/5 can't chump biters. Yep, just deal 1. Good game him. Opponent's still stubborn, but got a little bit too greedy with the 3 colors. Alright, 3-0. Surprisingly doing quite well compared to our last draft in the early matches, because we kind of went 3-2 in our previous draft, and and I think that deck was actually better than this one, but sometimes it's just luck. This hand is also just not impressive, but it has both of our colors. We're on the draw. I think we try it. As long as we can get like a 3-drop creature, I'm quite happy. Or a 2-drop. 2-drop, 3-drop is fine. If not, we'll just take it slow. Could see a deny to the mind if I run out of creature. I guess that's fine. Does he counter Discord Piper? I'm actually happy if he does. Chimera needs to be dealt with. So do I intervention it? I think I do. Otherwise, like, he can do some shenanigans with this, and this is sorcery speed. So yeah, I guess I just kill it now. With X equals 1, just to maybe make it so that I might have another spell. Witness. I'm hoping I can maybe Final Flare it eventually. War Leader is nice though. I guess what we can do next turn is Mogus Favor onto War Leader and then sacrifice it to Final Flare to take out the Witness. Or I can even give this flying if I want to. Kind of interesting. Maze Warden isn't bad. It's also just a fine attacker. So I think we keep it. And then I'll attack and see what's up. Could be a bounce spell in a turn. Don't think I need any reason to give it flyings. Right now we can get value off of Final Flare by sacrificing the War Leader. Liar is pretty good too, but luckily I can pump my Maze Warden, but so he would have to use up all his mana. So let's just run this out, and then so how much is this? X equals, I guess if I use Mogus' Favor, he would need to pay X equals 6 to deal with the War Leader. I think I round Mogus' Favor because then I can Blight Breath and kill this next turn. So I think I actually use it the favor here, and then force him to tap out with the Liar to take out my War Leader, my Maze Warden, I mean. So yeah, he would have to spend his whole turn and extra mana just to deal with this, and then yeah, there's no reason for me to pump, so. Maybe I can take out the Lampad. I could have also held on to the Lampad maybe. I mean the Blight Breath by running out Hierophant first, since it holds off the Lampad anyway, so maybe I should have been a little bit more conservative. But the 3-2 still lines up pretty nicely, so... Can I double spell? Not really, so just move here. Attack for 3. And then I could play around counter spell, but didn't see any. So I ran out one already, so I'm fine with the Cyclops. And I probably want to... Not sure which one I want to get flying, but I guess the 3-2 trades into a Naiad, so I don't want to really give this flying. I mean, I might be happy maybe offering to trade here, because he could have a trick to deal with my Cyclops. Right. So opponent just playing a control deck with a ton of removal. Can see a Myers Grasp on the 3-2 as well. His favor, so he's looking to race, fair enough. So I might just want to keep the Blight Breath back, although dealing 3 in the air would be nice. So I'm actually just going to move the wings onto the 3-3 and pass the turn, because this is a game where we're trying to win by value, perhaps. Like, if he doesn't tap and tap down my Hierophant, I mean the Blight Breath, I might actually trade here, actually. And he doesn't, so I do want the Blight Breath back to handle the Naiad, so. Inevitable end isn't bad. Alright, that's pretty good. ago, forcing to sack the Naiad. He just doesn't top deck into anything better. Opponent has so many final deaths. That's like the third final death I've seen. So very controlling. But we have a good amount of creatures at least. That's always a great sign, so. And if he untaps and takes out my war leader, this can also attack for a lot more, so. Yeah, sometimes you, even with a bunch of removal, if you don't have the bombs and creatures to back it up, you're just gonna lose to a deck with more creatures and threats in the long run, so that's a fine example. Alright, hopefully I can speed up these drafts because I need to go somewhere, so yeah. I do have a sealed tournament thing at a local store called Power 9 here in Las Vegas, where we do a sealed into top 8 draft, but the sealed is going to be new Capenna, so it's going to be either hit or miss. But it's still going to be a lot of fun, so, and I get to visit the old crowd that I hung with before I stopped going. And I think there's still some I'll see there, so, you know, shout outs to them. So currently 4-0, just 3 more wins. And yeah, this deck is performing a lot better than the previous one for some reason. It's probably just the opponents I'm facing, honestly. Like the last draft, one of our opponents just had all these rares. I think I had like 5 rares in his deck, and like double blind breath catalysis. It was just so gross. Atris, Wolf Strider, Erebos Intervention. Alright, I can keep this. And probably just gonna lead with this. Get a Scry, fine keeping a land on top, I think. Probably leave with Temple Thief as well. So a nice aggressive start on the play. I mean, I could get greedy here and bottom a land. I mean, I have all these black sources. Do I really want to, though? Yeah, I have like 3 turns to draw on the land. I'm gonna get greedy and bottom land. It's not like I need triple swamp. Maybe it's a mountain I might keep, but swamp I'm fine not keeping. Red, the aggressive tempo deck, and probably just fine running out the Underworld Chargers, so he doesn't have a turn to counter it on turn 3. Could be an Omen of the Sea on the turn, not fearing anything. If he bounces it or Omen of the Forge, that's also okay. Let's see if he tries to Omen of the Forge. Alright. And it's nice playing this out on curve before it's turn 3, because that can exile the Underworld Charger. Yep, it's Omen of the Sea. Probably the best blue common. The second one is probably just Thirst for Meaning. But again, I like... The blue has good card advantage, powerful problems, and rares, but the commons are still sticking out to me. Wait, break Hippocamp is a scary card. Luckily I drew my 4th land. I don't think I want a double spell here, so we'll just attack. But this could be pretty scary. We cast a bunch of instants and draw cards off of this, so... Hopefully top deck into something good. A land would be nice too for Rage Scar Berserker, so... We just gotta aggro him out, I think. He could also have the instant speed Starlight Mantle, which can give this a +1/+1, so I might be hesitant on actually attacking with the Temple Thief. I mean, if I make him use it, then I get to hit him for 6, so I think we just jam. And he could also have anything here, like including a Vexing Gull, so that's fine. Then, if that's trading for a 2-drop, I'm happy. Just run off with Rolling Phase Warden, so once already at 7 life, pass, he can't really do anything at sorcery speed. And he was too behind on lands. Right, that's kind of annoying. The fact he gets to gain control of my creature and use it as a blocker is quite nice. So I don't want to really trade here, so I think it's time for us to do the Wings of Hubris. And then we'll just put on the Underworld Charger, so the 2/2 can at least block his 2/2 next turn. And just jam for 3. So I have to attack his attack next turn and force a trade. I guess if he kills my Underworld Charger, then I can fly it across. So I probably just want to use Wings on the Venomous Hierophant next turn, so even if he blocks my 3/3, he needs to use mana to shrink this down. And if I'm able to get in for 3, that's quite nice. Because then I'll be able to, I mean, I can also run out Lampad and sack whatever he blocks, so that's also quite good, so yeah, why not? Let's run out the Lampad here, and then attack with both. He trades for the Shimmerwing Chimera, and I sack my Venomous Hierophant, and I get my War Leader back next turn too. I guess I want to sack my Charger instead, so yeah, I think I'm fine doing this. I guess it's trading anyways, so maybe I shouldn't have done that, but yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, this way I could keep up a second activation, but yeah, whatever, we'll just attack like this. And then he's gonna block with the Maze Warden. Stern Dismissal's interesting. So he just wants to draw a card. I could sack the Hierophant, which is interesting. So what does this do? Yeah, he's probably just gonna block the 3/4, but I'm just gonna sacrifice. Alright, this is fine. I would love to hit some land drops, but that's not always the case. The fact that he can bounce back your Chrome 4 is annoying though, so yeah, with the Shimmerwing Chimera he can do so this could be game over, so I probably need to just drain him out with the Lampad, so yeah, he can just steal my Lampad, but then I get back my my Maze Warden. I guess he's gonna steal my Lampad and sack it, so I should have actually not done that play, which I just mentioned. Let's use my Maze Warden instead. I'm not sure if that's correct. Attacks for 3, he might have an instant speed spell here. So I'm hoping I can get some lands at least, but this does not look good. Not sure what he has here. I could try to hit him for 1, and hope he doesn't have a second Stern Dismissal. Put him down to 2, maybe run out Blood Aspirant, and then maybe we can just try to burn him out next turn with the Drain from Lampad or Blood Aspirant, so I guess I did get punished for not having that 1 extra mana for Lampad. Staying Lionfish, okay. Alright, so let's say go. Land is not bad. So probably just equip attack for 1. And then I guess he's dead. Oh, I guess he's just dead here, so for 1, run out Blood Aspirant, say good games. Sacrifice, drain him. And then we sacrifice the Lampad and drain him again, so yeah, that's why Lampad is such a good common and why black is such a strong color. They just have all these excellent commons that synergize well and fill every kind of role in a Magic game. Except Hexproof, I guess. There's no like Hexproof for black. There is Recursion with Omen of the Dead, of course. But yeah, a lot of the commons are just very deep and above average, so if you need a good color, just try to lean towards black as much as possible. And then white is also not too different from black. Slightly worse, but there's some good commons too. And then red, and then again, between green and blue, you can argue which one you like. This hand isn't great, but we're on a play, so I'm just gonna keep and hope I just draw into a couple of lands here. Yeah, this is awkward having Clean the Dust in the early hand and nothing to cycle with. So I might just have to cycle Cling on his Traveler's Amulet just to draw a card, assuming he activates it this turn. Oracle, not really in a position to attack, so I'm just going to keep this back, and I think I keep land, so I'll say go. I can attack for 2, but I'm actually hoping to trade here for the Oracle. And this could be a trick, but then I can use Inevitable End on this if he tries to load this up with some enchantments, and that's an Indomitable Wills. That's fine. I get to lose my fodder, but it's okay. And I think I'm fine using Inevitable End on the Incendiary Oracle. Just do it main phase. You can also run out the Venomous Hierophant, of course, just to be mana efficient. I'm kind of just liking this here. So it's just a nice 2 for 2. And the opponent probably doesn't have anything to follow up. I think I cycle Cling to Dust. He's probably not running a ton of escape cards. We just want to get rid of enchantments because they could be meaningful in the white deck. Could double spell, but I think I'm just going to run the Hierophants. Got a nice escape creature in your yard too for turn 5, assuming I get a land, so that's nice. Vanishing Light's decent against the Venomous, but probably better against my Underworld Charger, which I'm just going to fire off now. So I'm hoping this doesn't imply the opponent has another way to punish escape cards. But this is nice, getting some value. Chimera's fine. So what do I want to do here? Probably just run out the Raid Scar and attack for 6. Maybe set a Final Flare on something else. Yeah, I don't recommend going too many colors in Theros Beyond Death. It's fine maybe splashing for a 3rd color, but the problem with going multiple colors in this set is that should maybe ran out Piper in case he has a pump spell, so I can punish with Final Flare. Since now I can see a Karametra's Blessing. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, it's also indestructible, right? I can always do it next turn. Yeah, I'll just let this resolve. And then not attack. Run this out, keep up Final Flare in case. Then just say go. So I should have ran out the Piper, so then if he tries to pump, I can punish. But yeah, now I'm down to just run out land here. I think I run out the land pad here. And then attack with both of these. And if he tries to do any shenanigans, I can punish with the Final Flare. So he's probably going to block and maybe use a pump trick here. If he sacrifices Alseid, that's fine. It's still trading for Alseid. Alright, so we'll see if I see something. He goes for that instead, right? See your trick. Aspect of Manticore. So in response, I could Final Flare to make him waste his Alseid. Or I can sack the Underworld Charger. Maybe that's fine instead. Yeah, maybe this is better. Because I know he's going to sacrifice the Alseid. Like, I could make him use his Alseid, but I think this is better. And we still get him for 5. And then I might just end the turn, use Final Flare. Not sure. Oh, I guess I could have used Mogan's Favor here. What does he have here? This is going to do 2, so I guess Piper. So in response, we can Final Flare and punish for that play. And he doesn't have magic, he's already Alseid, so we can really mess with him. Lagona getting back an enchantment and gaining life, so he's probably going to get back the aspect, gain 3. But then I can escape Mogus' Favor. and take out Alcide here. But I guess what he can do is he can give this protection, which is annoying. Interesting. I think I just attack here. And if he blocks, he can't really I mean, he can double block and trade for the Rage Scar, but he can't really, like, I mean, he can block, sacrifice his Alcide jump, but that doesn't really accomplish much. So I think I'm fine with this. Hopefully he doesn't have a second trick. And then, yeah, now he doesn't have any creatures, and I can escape in Underworld Charger. And punish him. Sicko. Yeah, now he has no creatures for the aspect. Utilize Pilgrim. Still can't really block the Underworld Charger. It's a commanding presence, but we can still chump and sack and deal with this, so yeah, I'm down to just attack for 5. We can chump and sack. And then if he takes 5 next turn, then we should be able to win the game. Since then, I can then sack the Underworld Charger, or sack the Lampad and drain him. So I'm hoping he just goes all in with the commanding presence and doesn't realize that, alright, the Entrancing Lyre, although it doesn't shut down the Underworld Charger because it's only power. So, yeah. He also just doesn't have a good block on the Underworld Charger anyway, so even if he uses Aspect, it's still not going to do anything. Then we're fine just having him use Lyre on Temple Thief, potentially. And, yeah. Opponent's in a 3-color weird deck. I guess it's mostly red-white base with a green splash. But overall, yeah. A couple of questionable cards. And, yeah, 6-0, so let's get rid of the final boss, and then I can hopefully go to the events, and hope you guys enjoy this draft video, so let's go. Alright, opening hand. Again, seems okay. We'll keep. Probably leave with a Piper, then Aspirants. Punish any 1 toughness he has with Favor, or the Aspirants. Nessie Hornbeetle, though, is kind of scary. So we might want to set up a turn where we actually sacrifice the Piper and then Mogus's Favor to finish it off. I'm hoping he doesn't have a Loathsome Chimera next turn, but we can punish him with the Blood Aspect if he does, so this is okay. And then we'll pass, and then hopefully we can deal with this Hornbeetle, because it is a scary card if it gets out of hand. Binding, alright, that's fine. Might actually benefit some players. And I can even cycle this just to get rid of a land, honestly, to draw a card, and I think I will, because I want to hit my land drops, so we're just going to exile this land here to draw a card. And then, first things first, we attack for 2. And then guess he can exile my Cling to Dust, so maybe that was a little bit preemptive, but I think we kind of have to get rid of the Swarm Beetle, so I'm just going to do this now. I mean, I really wanted to hit a land, but I should have maybe read into this and then decided before I did this, but now he gets to exile my Cling to Dust in Moga's favor, so probably not the worst, the best move to use. So there goes my 2 escape cards. I still have the Underworld Charger, but that was maybe a bit of a misplay. But he also missed the land drops, so that's nice. And we can run out some creatures at least. So. I guess he gets to return a creature. Alright, that was kind of stupid of me. Oh, he gets a land instead. Fair enough. So, getting rid of Horn Beetle actually didn't punish me that badly. He just needs to develop the board. And yeah, now this is bad since I can't really do much. Alright. I'm hoping he doesn't block. Alright, doesn't block. So I could also sacrifice a villain to draw a card. Maybe I do need to because I'm missing my land drops. So I'm going to do it now just so I can maybe hit a land drop here, and I didn't, so that's punishing. Opponent's also missing lands, but he finally gets 4th land, so could see a Voracious Typhon. Morse is fine. Probably get rid of a 5-drop or 4-drop, we'll see. I can always Wings and attack for 2 next turn as well. Can X equals 2 to deal with the Scovels, the Mogus, of course, as well. Yeah, getting these exiles suck, but I think Clinging to Dust end of turn was still kind of worth it. Like, I really need to hit my land drops. And then Remorse also makes him lose life, so could see Myra's Grasp, right? So it has a pretty good black-green escape deck. And then probably keep any land I can find on top. Probably don't want to keep the 5-drop. Like, I do want the 5-drop, but come on, I need to run out of leaders, so... could X equals 2 on this. Not sure if I want to. I'm just gonna run out the land pad, I think, that's fine. Hopefully I don't flood too badly. Carry dead is okay. Although, this could allow him to maybe splash for something. So, yeah, hopefully I can kill it, whatever he's trying to splash for, fix for. But this being able to answer Voracious Typhon could be kind of key. You could see a final death on the Flummox Cyclops. Yeah, this is kind of like when having the Mogus favor or the one toughness way to punish could be useful. Alright, so I might just take out this Soul Reaper and attack for 4. Since I don't see doing much else, so you know, let's just do X equals 3. Yeah, X equals 1 doesn't do anything. It does take out the Blight Breath, but I think this is more important to take out. And then he does get to carry the, I don't know, mana, so just attack for 4. And then find if this double block happens. Because he has a good double block on Cyclops if I attack, so this is fine. I need to get my 5th land, of course, as well. Another Blight Breath taking out my Cyclops hurts. So yeah, these in multiples can really be a problem. So I can do the thing where I can sacrifice Elspeth on the 3rd chapter if I want to. I might just do that next turn because... Alright, Warbriar's Blessing can go. He does have a really scary 6-drop. yeah, just run out the War Leader, it can block. And then if he wants to finish off War Leader, it's still trade, and then on my... I need to stop on my... I need to put full control here. Have this Exile in the stack, and even use Final Flare to get value off of this. But if I get a land, I might not use the Final Flare, because I can Blight Breath one of his own Blight Breaths. But then he can run out his 4/4, and that can be kind of annoying. So I'm kind of in an awkward spot. And I definitely need to block here. And could see a 4/4 finish this off next turn. And yeah, I'll let that happen. So opponent has a 2/1 himself, which is fine. And then, yeah, we'll see what we draw here. A land is good, so I probably don't need to use Final Flare here, since I get a free kill anyway, so... Yep. We could mess with any escape shenanigans he has, so he doesn't get to exile any cards, and then we can run out our own Cal Bleepus and do this, so... Yeah, we're getting there. Pretty close matchup, though. Chimera's pretty good, too. And a second one, so that's kind of scary. Alright, so probably just need to trade one off, and then hope I... Yeah, I need to sacrifice an enchantment, so yeah, it's not looking good. So I'm hoping I can top deck another creature to deal with the Loathsome Chimera. And if he has a pump spell, I can punish with Final Flare, so... Just need a really good top deck here. Or at least a creature I can trade with. Right, creature. Right, that is a creature, so I'll take it. I won't be able to draw cards, unfortunately, but I guess I can stack the first Iron Games to it. Right, so he's gonna try and tap this down. So I probably don't want to stack the first Iron Games. Or maybe I do, so I can have at least a 1-powered creature, I don't know. It's bad either way. I should have maybe stacked this, but... Sure. Yeah. Because if I got a 4-powered creature, I would have drawn 2, but got unlucky, so... So I guess we might just lose here. He can't escape this Loathsome Chimera, he needs 3, but he has a nice way to lock down potential threat, and then we're just drawing into another land, so that's already a rip. I would have had a 1/1, I mean, not sure if that even matters. Since spawn is just a bomb, so... Yep, games, just for 3 lands. Alright. Let's just get this out of the way, and then hopefully I can make it to the event. It's like in 29 minutes. So maybe I shouldn't have Cling to Dust, or I guess use Mogus's Favor and taken out the Nessian Hornbeetle. Maybe I should have just waited until the Binding of the Binding Saga, Binding of the Titans, I think. Exiled a bunch of stuff, and then I should have done it. But it was actually pretty scary if I didn't deal with the Nessian Hornbeetle, so yeah, there's an argument not to do it, but at the same time, Hornbeetle's a problem, so I think this hand I can keep. Hopefully we can get 3rd land, and hopefully it's red on the draw, so if we never draw at least a 3rd land, I might cry. Alright, that's good. Wow, Nightmare. Alright. That's sad. Nightmare so he could just get rid of my Nightmare. And I have no creatures to follow up, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. At least he used it early, and there's not much for him to... And I have a bunch of removal spells still, so it's still... It would be nice for me to use my own Nightmare, but... Yeah. So I probably don't want to fire off a Mogus Favor next turn. Manticore is annoying. I might just sack Final Flare just to kill this. Do I want to? I could also Intervention, but Intervention can do more. Maybe just take our draw step. Alright, I guess we'll just use Final Flare. Or I can wait until his draw step. Yeah, we'll just wait until his draw step so he doesn't get to exile our Final Flare, which could be important for escaping certain cards. So we'll let this resolve first. Maybe I'm fine taking 4 as well. Although 4 is a lot, so... Yeah, I guess with Final Flare now. I don't really want to, but I think it's okay. And then I can exile his Nightmare to draw a card with Cling. Another Manticore, sure. And then, yeah, 4 leader seems good. Opponent's missing land drops, so... Right, I could just trade here too, but I have my own favor, so I'm not even sure if I want to trade. I think I'm fine just taking 6, to be honest. Since I have a nice way of just punishing this. I have a pump spell, of course, but if he wants to waste it, then it's totally fine, because it's going to kill him in the end of turn regardless, so... Can't think of anything for 2 mana here that punishes me at instant speed. So, if he uses a pump trick, then maybe we'll kill it anyway, so... Yep. I can also Cling to Dust his Mogus Favor too, and that also draws a card. I do need to exile 5 cards from this though, so it's going to take a while. So. And Intervention can also just deal with anything he has, especially since he's behind all land drops. Mara's Grasp to shrink it down. It's still a body, so he needs to chain together 2 spells. And if not, then yeah, this is still a body I can sack later. And I probably don't want a Mogus Favor onto this because he can just Mogus Favor back. Roxa, okay, that's a good one. So that's gonna make me discard the Intervention, which is kind of annoying. But I'm still applying a lot of pressure, so... to exile 5 cards to escape this, so it's going to take a while before he can actually run out Kroxa. I can also Cling to Dust Kroxa, assuming I can get 5 in the yard. I could attack with a Skobos, fine with a trade maybe, because I'm down to just get more stuff in the yard, but I guess if I do that, then he can escape Kroxa, because then he would have the Grim Position and Myra's Grasp in the yard, so I probably don't want to attack with the War Leader, just attack with these 2, maybe force a chump. I guess he needs double red for Kroxa. I guess he's forced to chump anyways, because, yeah, he's at 9 life, so... that solves the issue. And yeah, 6-1, 7-1 with a pretty nice deck. Just another medium Rakdos deck. I think it's a lot worse than the previous one, but we still got to 6 with it. Didn't manage to get full value off of first Iron games in any of our matchups. Just had a really solid aggressive game plan. Some good synergies. Yeah, this is just worse than the previous one, but still very solid, so happy that I managed to get to 7 with this. So, yeah. Just claim our prize. And then I need to go somewhere, so I'll catch you folks later. Alright, catch you folks later, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, hope you guys learned a lot, and hopefully maybe I do another video where I don't end up drafting black, because there's some other good decks in white that people should be aware of. So there you have it, have a good one, bye.